Hey,
Right.
we are on. Autorine magazine is in his house.
In
I
the
got my
house.
boy Kenya. Make some noise.
The birthday man.
Chris,
Hey,
make some noise. Chris Thomas in the house. Make some
What's
noise.
up?
Chris
And,
Thomas.
What's going on?
and the one and only D. Seymour, Donald Seymour, is in on the lines, having some little fun. First off, we want to come in and wish Kenya a happy birthday.
Yay.
Um, I
It's
see
my
you got.
birthday. Yo, shorty.
I'm gifting
It's
him
my
a Macan
birthday.
for his birthday.
Oh, no, please. Look, go ahead. I'll sell it.
Yeah. No. I'm gonna gift them a Genesis because since it's such a great car and everything. So,
Nah, I get that
yeah.
CT6 though. I get that. Go ahead, give me a
No, you ain't getting
CT6.
nothing. But happy birthday, Kenya, man.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure working and everything.
Thank you
So
very
yeah.
much.
So what we are going to do, we are going to pick up where we left out on the report card. And so a couple of automakers did pretty well. What it seemed like with the report card, a couple of automakers made B's and A's. But now we are about to dwindle down, and we are going to go to, as Kenya call it, the Empire, which I don't
Right.
know what that means. So
Got it up right here.
we got the Volkswagen America report, first quarter 2024. Thank you, Chris. So we got the Atlas, which is Atlas Cross.
Only thing in the SUVs that are down are the ID.4 and the Taos. But
Okay, and that's understandable because the ID.4 is ugly, so that's understandable. So
You think so? The ID.4 is ugly, dog. It's
yeah,
ugly, man.
it's trash. So
It
okay, we
is,
got
dog. It's
so we
ugly,
got
man.
the Jetta, quarter one, quarter two. The Jetta is doing really
Jetta's
well.
doing great.
Why is the Jetta doing so well?
Because it's a great car.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful car. It's German engineered, man. Don't forget that Volkswagen is German engineered. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna let that slide. I'm gonna really
you know what I'm
let that
saying?
slide.
Look, I'm just telling you the truth, man. German engineering, man.
So the Arteon,
with the GTI too, though. The
yeah. That's a great car.
56%.
Yeah, GTI and the Golf R, those are great. Yeah, but the Jetta, yeah. Arteon, which is actually one of my favorite Volkswagen, I give them that. Had a dip 4%, 505 to 528. 505 from quarter 2024 to quarter of 2023, which was 528.
4%.
Yeah, 4%. And so who else had to drop? The ID.4, which is completely understandable because that is an ugly turd of a vehicle. Yeah. So what grade would you give them, Chris? What grade would you give them?
Looking at these, I would say I give them an A. Fairly, because I mean, you've got their best cars are up in sales. So I think it's only fair to give them an A for their grade. Beside the ID.4, which I personally don't like, or the Taos, I don't really care for that either. But everything else is up in sales that I like, and those are the ones you see on the road the most. So I think it's fair to give them an A for me.
They do deserve an A. I would say they deserve an A because their core models are up, like their electric cars down. Of course, the Arteon is a large sedan, so people don't like those anymore, sadly.
I don't know why.
But I love the Arteon too.
Likewise.
Love it. But yeah, I give them an A, man. Like, it's a good lineup. The Atlas is good. I like that. The Jetta, of course, I like. The Golf, I like the Golf too.
The Golf R is seen everywhere. I see that car everywhere.
Golf GTI and the Golf R, they're doing good. So that's good news. I guess the whole button integration has
doing really
worked.
well. Exactly.
Yeah, because people did not like the fact that they removed all the buttons from that car, and there was a lot of complaints about that. So I guess it worked.
Yeah,
Because it went up. Their sales shot up. Their sales were looking pretty messed up,
and that
in
means
2023.
That means a lot coming from Volkswagen, because they do heavily influence the market. So
yeah. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. I mispronounced Volkswagen. The Empire, let me correct myself, is doing good with their Golf models, the R and the GTI. 942 sales for the GTI, and the R had 547, and it went up a whole lot, 156% and 125% for the Golf R. I mean, yeah, that's a lot. So they did something right.
Yeah. So my grade will also, I will give it an A. They hit all their marks as they were supposed to, and so yeah, I give them an A. So yeah, I mean, I think the only sad part for me is the lack of sedan sales for the Arteon, which is a very attractive vehicle, and that is breaking my heart. And so
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they can do, like, because the car it's got a large interior. It's got a large interior, and it's not even that expensive like that. I mean, I feel
it also gives a luxury appeal too.
Yeah,
the rear end of it reminds me of an S-Class coupe a little bit.
Yeah, the car is practical as heck.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
You don't see it.
No. I mean, that's a bit of reach, but okay, cool. We can go for that. So Volkswagen, we got Volkswagen. That's an 8. So we're gonna move on to Porsche, which is one of my favorite brands. But Kenya, I feel like Kenya is trying to make me hate Porsche because Kenya like Porsche. Because you like Porsche so much, it's propelling me to hate it. That's
you trying to drag us down? Oh, okay. No, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
No,
it's not gonna happen. We the Empire. I told you, it's the Empire, man. Porsche, Audi.
So Bentley. Right now we are on.
Don't mess with us.
We are on carscoops.com. Brad Anderson is the author of this report. So carscoops.com.
So as we see just from the thumbnail, down in China, down in North America, down globally.
Wow.
Which is, I'm not going to say concerning because it is Porsche, but you have that's something to look out for, I would say.
Yeah.
See them down globally. It's nothing.
I'm not. Well,
I'm not concerned.
Apparently, they're blaming it on the fact that they have issues with customs, apparently, and I don't know if that's a Volkswagen thing, but there's something that that was mentioned. So, of course, the Taycan and the Panamera, they have redesigns right around the corner. So, of course, people are going to say, okay, why would I go and get the Taycan and the Panamera now when I can just, get the brand new generation they have that's coming in the next few months?
Exactly.
And so, you naturally going to see a sales drop when that happens. So,
I mean, they say during the first 3 months of the year, Porsche delivered 77,640 vehicles to customers around the world, which is a 4% decline from Q1 of 2023, and was primarily due to a significant slowdown in deliveries in North America and China. So that the customs issue could be causing what their sales drop, or it could be the fact that there's a redesign coming around the corner. But from what they're saying,
it's the redesign for the Panamera and the Taycan that took their sales numbers away from them. So
and let me interject this too. When it comes to Porsche again, we talked about this. Porsche has a cult following. So when you have a cult following, they kind of know what's going to happen and when you're going to release. They're not like the average consumer, right? Where we don't know the Toyota is releasing the Crown sports back, or and so they're not that average consumer, right? They're more astute to what's going on, and so they say, okay, we're gonna hold our funds till we get the new Panamera and a new Porsche Taycan. So I do believe that does play a big issue in what we've seen with this first quarter. So
I'd agree.
Chris, not Chris, I'm gonna lead in with Kenya. Kenya, what we give
Yeah,
him? What do we give
Porsche
him?
got
And be honest.
they got a.
And be honest.
I ain't gonna sit here and be. I ain't gonna sit here and lie. They got an F. Because
Yeah, if you're down globally in sales, that's
they
overall.
down globally. They down what 23% in America. They down 23% in America. So and they're down 4% globally.
In China.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got an F.
And in China they down 24%. That's one of the largest markets out there.
Exactly.
It's easy to sell cars over there. So they down. They didn't do good. Not really sure exactly what happened, but there's some glimmer of hope for Porsche. They are claiming, which we're going to talk about, shortly. For one thing, the Macan in Europe,
that's right,
has been discontinued, and the gas-powered version in Europe has been discontinued. That's probably has something to do with their global sales dropping as well, because it's been discontinued.
And it's one of the best sellers.
And so,
rightfully so, because it's a great car.
Okay.
Right,
let's stay on topic.
No, I don't know about all that.
Let's stay on topic, fellas. Let's not, deviate with unnecessary foul language. Okay? This is a family show. Okay, but
that's the mommy wagon right there.
It's a good car. It's a good car. I'm not knocking it. It's a good car. It's just not for me. It's not for me.
Okay. Okay. I can understand that. It's not for me. The Volkswagen Tiguan is not for me. You're right.
Oh, you sure? Oh, okay. Okay. I see where we're going. All right. All right. I'll remember that.
I mean, you're right.
You better hope this Macan EV don't do numbers.
We're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about the Macan numbers right now. All
right. So what we giving Porsche their grade for their quarter one?
They either get a D or an F because of that.
I would because it's Porsche and I have a little bit of bias. I'm gonna give them a D. Because it's not. I'm not giving them an F because it's not I'm not concerned for Porsche's numbers. I think they're gonna go up next quarter.
It's not concerning, but it's just they didn't perform that good.
They did not.
I don't know if this has something to do with customs because they had illegal parts in their cars, reportedly. Or
they had illegal parts,
and that was supposed to have them stuck at the ports because they couldn't get past customs due to some illegal parts involved in some of their vehicles. I don't know if that's it or not. They share parts with VW, so that could have something to do with it.
Yeah. So I'm going to interject something too when it comes to Porsche. I know a lot of people have been complaining about their dealerships, right, and how their dealership operates as far as they're upcharging unnecessarily, right? And that can be, right, and that can be a patrol, like even when it go to a higher end 911, some dealerships are enforcing that, customers will buy several other vehicles, and so that. I don't necessarily know if that is an end all be all, but it could be an insistent problem. And when you create that type of culture, you become kind of known for that. So that could be it. I'm not saying that that's evident in the numbers, whatever. But that being said, I would have to interject to say it get a D for me. It's a D. It's a solid D.
Yeah,
It's a solid D.
fair enough.
So
All right.
so triple D, triple
Yeah,
Yeah.
D's,
pretty much.
triple D. So Porsche got triple D's. That's what's up.
I would hate to see what an F would look like. I guess an F would
Oh
be getting close to going out of business.
yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
like a Saturn or something.
But
Yeah,
my question
but
to
yeah, I think they deserve a B. I mean a D. I mean,
my
uh,
question to you, Kenya, is what do you think about how do you think this Macan EV would it be a turnaround for Porsche?
that's a good question because apparently Porsche believes it will. Um, Porsche is seemingly very confident about their Macan because they're coming out. For one thing, the Macan supposedly has received already 10,000 pre-orders for the Macan EV version.
That's right, as it should.
The Macan
But
EV.
are
Now.
those
Here's the thing.
dealership?
The,
Because sometimes they lie. They can be dealership orders, just straight dealership orders, and
It's
not.
the Porsche CEO Oliver Bloom said that the all electric Macan. I'm reading this from Electric received over 10,000 orders, and that was in early March.
Is that
And
from
so,
dealership though? That's the question. Is it just straight dealership? Because sometimes they can say we received these orders, and this is straight from dealership. It's not from a customer base. That's what I'm asking the real questions. You know what I mean?
well, that's a good question because, but it's not saying whether or not it's
I mean, yeah,
from the
but
dealers
they
Yeah, they're
can
not. They're
lie
not
or
though.
being
the
specific. They're just
customers.
saying they got
They're not really
10,000.
saying. The,
They're just saying they got 10,000 plus orders of the car
yeah, that's
ready
all.
to
That's
go.
all that's being reported. Whether or not they're coming from the dealers or then they're just making up numbers, you know, or this is actually their numbers.
Yeah,
They're not really saying that. So they're just Oliver Bloom is saying that the all electric Macan this guy already got 10,000 orders, and not only that, Donald, he's also saying that he believes that the Macan EV is going to outsell its internal combustion engine counterpart. Now,
I don't. I'm not.
I
I don't believe that. I'll be fair and say I do not
yeah.
believe that.
That's a big leap of faith.
I think about this. Well, they're believing, like if you look at the Porsche Taycan, right? It's
Yeah.
outselling the Panamera. And I'm gonna make two arguments. What he believes is that the Macan EV will be able to perform the same anomaly that the Porsche Taycan did against the Panamera. Now,
But I just don't see that happening because I just think that in general the Macan was liked more based off the sales numbers compared to the Panamera. So
Yeah,
I don't think no you swap it out for an EV. I don't think you're going to get that same result. That car is all over the road. I'm not going to see people give their Macans back to go get the EV version. I'm not seeing it happen.
yeah.
well, we will have to bring back the argument of why is the Panamera, which is at the same price points. If you look at the trim levels of the Panamera and you look at the trim levels of the Taycan, and they're at the same price points, you would have to bring that argument back and find out, okay, why does the Taycan, which is less practical, less spacious, technically speaking, on paper, is actually not even as fast around racetracks as the Panamera used to be. And so, like, where is the selling point for the Taycan? It definitely don't have as much range. Is it just the fact that it's a good drag race car? And some people, of course, if you ask them, they're gonna tell you, like if you look at a lot of comments these days, a lot of people will still tell you to this day that they don't like the way the Panamera looks. But the
Yeah.
Taycan, everybody loves the way that looks, including myself. I like the Taycan the way it looks. I didn't say I like it better than the e-tron GT. I ain't saying that, but I said I like the way the Taycan looks. If you just base it off of looks, I'm not saying I would buy it over a Panamera. I'm just saying that if you just base it off of looks, it looks better than the Panamera. It
Yeah,
does.
100%.
You know, and so
Okay.
people, yeah, I mean, they both look like Porsches, but
I mean, they on par.
aesthetically and proportionally, the
Yeah,
Taycan is a better
proportionally.
looking vehicle.
Okay, I
Yeah.
agree with you on that.
So some people still
Proportionally.
say the Panamera looks bloated. Don't like it. And then when somebody says that, they get like 170 likes, you know. And so people still don't like the way it looks. And that could affect the sales. Because some people don't like to drive around an ugly car. So I like the Panamera. You know, if I had to choose between the two, it makes more sense for me personally to get a Panamera. So I would get that. Now, other people, they different, you know. And so Oliver Bloom believes that he can repeat that same anomaly. It's an anomaly still to this day.
Yeah, and anomalies in a plot in
because
a chart
no
are
other
extraneous.
no
Yeah.
other legacy car maker has been able to outsell their internal combustion engine counterpart. You know, if you go, we can go down the list: Mercedes, BMW, Audi.
Yeah.
We can go down the list. None of them
If
have
you
been
just
able
stick
to
with the legacy
outsell their.
European car makers, none of them outsold their ICEs with their EVs. None of them, besides
None of
Porsche.
them. And
No.
the same thing for, you know, the Cadillac Lyric to this day. They, you know, they are
Still
not
not
going to
gonna.
outsell their internal combustion engine counterpart. You know, we can go across the board. I believe Porsche is the only manufacturer that has been able to pull off that hat trick. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
So
Oliver Bloom believes that he can repeat that with the Macan. He believes that he can repeat that same trick with the Macan EV. So he's saying
Well,
that the Macan EV, with this 10,000 orders it got already in the first quarter, that we gonna outsell our internal combustion engine counterpart just like the Taycan did the Panamera. I don't believe that.
I mean,
Personally.
I'm looking at a Porsche newsroom here. As they've got it set a record in 2023 for 26,947 deliveries. Do we really think that a Macan EV is going to hit that same mark? From what he's saying, they've already got 10,000 deliveries in pre-orders. Now, are we really going to believe that they're going to hit that $27,000 delivery mark? I don't know. I think the Panamera already had its gripes against it.
yeah.
With the comparison in comparison to the Taycan, and I think that's not the same for the Macan though, because the Macan is everywhere on the road, and it's a very well liked vehicle. I don't see the Porsche fan club going out to go buy a Macan EV in place of their Macan. I don't see it happening. I think people will still be buying the Macans even after they're done, even in production. I think the car is just very well loved beyond amongst his fans, amongst his people. But like I was talking to this about King yesterday. It is Porsche and it's that badge, and
Exactly.
and when I say that, if you want to, besides Tesla, if you want to look for a group of people that want to have that are a part of a club, and they love that they are feeling a sense of union.
Exactly.
Porsche is that company.
Exactly.
And we've already seen with the Taycan, they bought them up. So I could see something similar here with the Macan EV, but I don't think it will do Macan ICE numbers. I don't see it happening. I think that car is just. I mean, who knows though? Who knows?
Exactly.
It's an anomaly, and anomalies are
An anomaly.
unexpected.
It's the only thing. It's the only car manufacturer that I know of that has been able to pull that off. And I do not think that. No, I agree with you. I do not believe personally. Now I could be totally wrong, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't believe that's going to happen. For one, the Macan EV and the Macan with the turbo V8, turbo V6, they both look exactly the same. You can't sit
Yeah,
there and say one looks better than the other at this point. You can
but
maybe
the
say
Exactly.
that
Macan
about the
EV is
Taycan and the
going to
Panamera.
it's going to influence the sales number just because in Europe they're going to almost require you to purchase that car if you even want to get around.
They are. They are
So
going to require you
when
to
we
purchase.
look at these sales numbers that are going to come out when that car releases, we got to factor in that over in Europe is a different culture because they pushed out the Macan. The Macan's gone. The ICE Macan is gone. They are bringing in the EV Macan. So those the sales numbers in Europe will probably be up, and they will be up because
I,
the
I
Macan is
actually
not
think they're
going to
going to
be
be.
sold.
It's well, the Macan in Europe is going to the EV version. The Macan
Yeah.
sales, if it goes pure EV, I'm thinking the sales are probably going to be down a bit because it's going to be more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
most likely because of the price. That's right. That's true.
It's still a Macan with the Panamera. Once again, it's a size up from the Taycan anyway. So it's not even the same size car for real. It's got way more space. So its
Yeah.
price points are the same. So it's different with this situation. It's the same size car with the same exact look. It's just one is EV, one is ICE, and we all know how that's been for the legacy car makers. It hasn't been that good. So
yeah.
So I think
the another anomaly we're gonna have to talk about was we didn't talk about is the Lyric is a bit bigger than the XT5, but it's still not selling as well as the XT5. So
exactly.
We're gonna pull them up. We're gonna pull them up.
We'll talk about that another time because the Lyric is starting to pick up now, but it
Not
still
that
hadn't
much.
caught it. It still hadn't caught it. It was picked up a lot, 499%. We talked about that in the last episode.
Yeah, but that was deceiving numbers, right? I mean, when you sell
it's
500 and then you sell 4,000, of course those numbers gonna be.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. But and the XT5 is on its way out. They should be redesigning that completely for the United States. It's old, so it does have that going against it. So it's kind of hard to compare that with, Taycan Panamera. Yeah, the Lyric is bigger.
Yeah.
But it's more expensive than the XT5. So that you have as well. So you gotta factor all of that in. But it's still an anomaly. That's all I wanted to say. Still something that has to be researched, and it could just be the looks. I mean, but I do not think that the Macan EV is going to outsell the ICE version Oliver Bloom.
Okay, Chris, I want your take on this same thing. Do you think the Macan EV will outsell its ICE counterpart?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not even close. I mean, it'll do numbers though, but it won't outsell it. I don't see that happening. You can have the anomaly for the Panamera and Taycan. You can have that anomaly because there were already gripes against the Panamera, and you got new buyers or current buyers coming in. Maybe they want to try something new. Maybe they have their gripes against the Panamera just like everybody else. They're going to go off on a limb and go get a Taycan. That will make sense. That makes more sense to me than the Macan EV to the Macan ICE. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
And you know what? Let me interject this. I think one of the biggest reasons why the Taycan sold so much was due to the fact it had that wow factor. When you look at the Taycan, it really wowed you. Like you're like, wow, what? I know that car is a Porsche. And so that's the same thing and the same principle that I was looking for Ford when they brought out the Mark E. Like, I'm looking for that wow factor. Okay, we already know Tesla got a leg up on you. So what can you do different besides Tesla? And that bring in that wow factor. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why it's well proportioned, right? It's better proportioned than a Panamera, right?
Yeah.
And so it has that wow, sensual, sexy factor to it that I think the Panamera has lost or never had to begin with. And again, I think the Panamera is a great, attractive car. I will buy one. But I think that wow factor is one of the main reasons why it outsold its ICE counterpart. Like, it had a huge contributing factor to it. Now, with the Macan EV versus the ICE, I think I will have to agree with both of you gentlemen and say that it is an anomaly. Like, I don't think that's going to happen again. That was just a phase. We was all going through a phase, and we out that phase now. So ICE
now,
for the win.
if it does,
hey, I'll get on here and say I was wrong. But I just don't think that's going to happen.
I'm not gonna get on that. I was just gonna say people are special and they are special, and we need to give them a hug and a helmet on top of their head.
The numbers are gonna do the numbers, man. I just don't think people are gonna go for it. So I mean, um, what's it gonna
There's just
have?
no way.
Like 300 miles of range?
No, yeah, a little bit under, a little bit under.
A little bit under that,
Yeah, a little
280,
bit. Yeah. Real world 240. Real world
240.
240. You know, they'll say 290, but real world driving about 240.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give or take.
So yeah, give or take. And that's if you ain't got a lead foot, you know.
Assuming you're doing
So
70 miles an hour, you a lawman. You know, you do the speed limit. You know,
exactly, which is not. I'm not saying I don't, but let's be for real. If you're on the highway, you're gonna
you
do
ain't gonna be doing
85.
no 65.
I'm
70
doing 85 on the
the
highway.
passing lane.
Yeah,
You ain't
I'm
gonna do
honestly,
that.
I'm getting sick and tired of these people driving these sports cars and supercars, and they're cruising. If you don't
Exactly.
drive that thing how it's supposed to be driven,
It's gonna break down.
yeah, probably.
But, let's move on to Buick.
Yeah,
Your favorite brand, Chris,
absolutely not.
and they just released the Enclave.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
I saw it
just
out at the
released
senior
it.
citizen home. I
So
saw
let's look
Ethel.
at-
I saw Ethel getting in it.
You know, hey, check it out. It comes with blood pressure monitors, and it comes with IV bags, and you get a courtesy packet of vitamins when you buy it
and prune juice.
from the dealer.
and it also comes with a decatheter. Okay, I'm joking. Okay, I'm joking. We joking, Buick. Okay, it's a joke.
I'm not.
Buick.
I ain't joking. Get that
Okay,
old
Chris-
people stuff up out of here.
Chris ain't joking. Okay. Oh man, look at these numbers. They're not.
They're bad, except for
Jeez.
one,
Encore
and that's the Encore.
got slaughtered.
The Encore GX is up, but the regular base Encore is down 98%.
Yeah, I don't like the Encore.
I'll say it right here, right now. Bill gets an F for me. I'm sorry.
They get an F. They get an F anyway, right? I mean, look, man, Encore GX is up.
This is no.
You gonna give them an F anyway, Chris?
You're absolutely right.
Bias in the mug.
And then Vista is doing great. You know, like for real.
Yeah.
It is like it's doing great.
Yeah, but
so what's the secret sauce within Vista?
I don't know. As
SUV.
Are the senior citizens offering a discount?
It's
offering a senior citizen discount.
It's got a 3-cylinder. I mean, it's a economy. It's cheap. It's got a really cheap base price. I mean, it's you're talking about 23 grand, so it's gonna do numbers. It's pretty much an economy car, really.
137 horsepower. I mean, front wheel drive vehicle.
It's an economy car, so it's gonna do big numbers anyway. So
So,
but you still think they get an F, Chris? They get an F, man. The Encore,
yes.
Encore is doing, they get an F.
Yeah.
So what is your reasoning for them getting an F?
Because why? Okay, 98% on the Encore, 8% down the Enclave, and 6% down the Envision.
But the Encore GX went up 8%. 8.8.
Encore GX is it, but again, I have my personal biases against Buick. That logo is disgusting.
Now you admitted that you biased. You admitted that you biased, man. Look, I'll give him a C. All right?
C.
I maybe give him a C.
They need to see a doctor with these numbers. This is not all right. This is unacceptable. They need to see a consultant.
We need to look at 2023 before we make our judgments.
That's what we're looking at.
The lowest I would give them is a D. I'll be fair. I'll give them a D.
Yeah. Okay, Kenya. What you gonna give them?
They ain't gonna get no F, man. I mean, they deserve a little something more than that. I mean, if you look at Cadillac sales, what did we give Cadillac last episode? What did we give them? Did we give them I think we gave them like a C, something like that. So did they drop down as much as Cadillac? No, overall, they did not actually. So they actually, for the most part, I mean, they don't have as many models in their lineup as Cadillac. So, it's
they only got 5 cars.
They only got 5. Yeah, it's SUVs.
All SUVs.
All of them. Yeah.
Old people like big cars,
It's surprising that they went down that much. The SUVs sell, but
okay. But
I think they get a. I guess I'll give them a D. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just being realistic about it because, for one thing, the Encore is cheap. The Vista is cheap. The Enclave is not all that expensive. And it went down 8%. Now the new Enclave is about to go on sale. So,
and will it save it?
And then Vista is a new car. So that's pretty much, really, if you look at it, it's going to replace the Encore. So that's really what's happening. So it's not as bad. I'll give it a C or a D. I mean, it's kind of hard to really judge it because you got new models right around the corner. So I give it a C.
Okay, let me take my turn on this. So I want to say this. This is a U.S. delivery. Let's make this known.
Yeah, it's not global delivery. So
it's not global, right? So Buick, as a past 30 years, maybe 40 years, has not done well in the U.S. All right, let's just be honest. But what made Buick stay afloat is their identity in China, right? China and Buick are co and par. They are complete together, right? So we just dealing with the U.S. Based off the U.S. numbers, right? I'm going to have to give it a C.
I mean, just remember the Vista.
I'm gonna give it a C.
Then the Encore is.
The Encore is the only one that really is a genuine letdown. But that model been out for a good 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer than that. So I give it a C. The new Enclave, I think it's going to be a game changer.
Think so?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm going to lead in with Chris. Chris, I know you love the mummy vehicles, and I know you love the mummy minivan. So,
yeah, I know you love your Macan vehicles.
The audience don't even know this, but they need to know Chris' favorite vehicle are minivans.
Macan.
Oh, you're crazy. Absolutely not.
He loves these minivans. I'm like, God,
hey, I know what to get you for your birthday, man.
Give him a Dodge Caravan.
No, I'm gonna take the badges off of Tiguan, right? I'm gonna take all the badges off of it, and I'm gonna put Porsche badges on there and give it to him, and he ain't gonna know the difference. I'm gonna take all the logos off, all of them.
All I'm saying is, if you drive the car, if you drive Macan, you will like it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm telling you
what. You know what?
We can go. We should try doing that. Me and you are we're gonna make an appointment to go to the Porsche Experience.
We're driving 911. What you talking about?
No, you're gonna drive Macan.
No, we're not. We ain't driving that. Look, you driving Macan. We can go to the. Hey, when's the LA Auto Show? We can do ride and drive over there. Go to LA.
Okay.
We're gonna do ride and drive. We can drive the Tiguan over there.
Then, man, you keep calling it Tiguan.
They're not gonna let us drive a Macan, so we just drive the Tiguan, and then that's what we find
one as a rental car somewhere. That's what we either gonna do it. Go to LA Auto Show and do a ride or drive, or we gonna find a rental car. Macan here in Georgia.
You know what your dad should have did? He should have got himself a Tiguan and took the badges off of it, off the steering wheel, off the front hood, off the back. And put Porsche badges on there and then his wife would have been like, "Oh, he got me the Porsche. I'm so happy. Thank you." That's exactly what she would have did. She wouldn't know the difference.
No
She
way.
wouldn't know the difference.
She wouldn't know the difference.
No way.
She wouldn't know the difference.
No way, man.
And no other woman would know the difference.
No,
All right,
you can't. You look at the two cars. Hey, look, the Macan looks like a Porsche. Take one of them look like no Porsche.
Man, look, she ain't gonna know. She ain't gonna know that. So she just gonna know that logo. She gonna know that badge.
You didn't tell me yesterday, Donald. Ken told me he's gonna do that. He's gonna do that to a RAV4, and they still wouldn't know the difference.
So okay, Chris.
That's what they looking for is a RAV4. They ain't looking for no Porsche. They looking for that badge. Let's be realistic.
All
right. Anyway.
All right. Let's okay.
You sleep.
All right. So Chris, do you think the new Enclave, right? Okay, let's I want to pull up a picture of the Enclave. Go to net.
I'll pull one up here.
Yeah. I mean, I know.
Honestly, I'm not really feeling the new look. If you look at Neo, the Chinese car maker, has a lot of similar styling cues with that for whatever strange reason.
That's the old one. Go to.
Why are they promoting this with two middle-aged old adults getting into this car? This needs to be old people.
No, old people are in the back seat, and the two middle-aged.
Oh, so they're just driving.
They're opening. No, they're opening. Around. Yeah, they're opening the doors. So.
Okay.
So go to net. Let me put it in because that's the old one. The old one ain't.
No, the Enclave looks like
doing a facelift for it.
Yeah, no, the old one. That's I'm gonna go to the new one. Let me put it.
I'm talking about the new one.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Why you keep bringing up the old one?
Because that's what he's showing. He's showing the old one. I'm trying to show the new one.
Where are you seeing the old one at?
Oh, let me show you. Hold for 1 second. Oh, here you go. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up in the chat right now.
Okay,
right?
Those are the old ones.
Yeah, in fact, let me pull.
Actually, honestly,
just drop it in the Discord.
I did.
Pull it up here.
I did it. Okay. In fact, can you actually keep the old one up too, if possible?
Yeah.
And do a side by side comparison. Thank you.
And I'm gonna pull up Neo. Because I want you to see the similarities in the styling because it looks shockingly similar, and I don't think it's coincidental.
Oh, here we go. We have an engineer talking about styling. Okay. All
right, let's see. 2024. Yeah, here. Okay. All right, let me share both of these at the same time. Go over. All right, looking here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, look. So do you think that's gonna be a game changer, Chris?
Okay, I will say this. Looks like an MDX from the back, but we'll let that slide. Okay, this gonna have to.
And they got physical buttons too.
That's confusing for an old person, What is this? What is this ST badge that they put on the?
It's a trim. That's all it is. It's a trim. That's it.
Oh man, get that out of it. I mean, game changer, sure. Difference maker.
I don't know about game changer. I don't know about game changer.
It ain't gonna change the game. The only game it's gonna change is what they were releasing before. It ain't gonna hurt nobody else. This car ain't gonna hurt nothing.
It's not a game changer. I wouldn't say that.
Okay, Kenyon, give me your. Do you think it's gonna put the sales to the next level?
I mean, I think that people are naturally gonna want the vehicle that's newer. So, over there in China, I think it's gonna sell well. It has a lot of similar styling characteristics of a lot of Chinese cars if you look at it closely.
What was the Neo that you wanted me to pull up? Which one was that?
I just put it inside the.
I see it. Wow. That's funny.
There's some similarities there. You can see it. Yeah, you can see the similarities there.
Yeah, I pulled up right here. Here it is.
And so you can see similarities there. Okay,
Yeah,
you can't deny that.
they
A little
like
bit.
I
It
see,
just
go ahead, King.
reason why I brought that up is because like it doesn't look like it's designed by Buick anymore. Like um,
Oh, definitely not.
it just looks
Definitely
like
not.
okay, like normally you'd be able to tell okay that must be the new Buick Enclave. It looks better. It looks the same, but it looks a lot better now. But with this car, it's like who makes that? That's
Yeah.
American.
Now,
Like
okay.
that's
Well,
what I'm
let's
thinking of. Like it just
remember Buick
I
used to
would
make
have
them
guessed it was made
commercials.
by Neo making a gasoline car.
Remember those commercials that they used to always put? Is that a Buick? Now I'm actually asking that question. Now I can actually ask that question.
Ah,
This other stuff that they
okay.
released before, I'm just like, yeah, that's a Buick. Ain't no other
Okay.
crap look like that.
So they try to make it futuristic looking and
More modern looking,
more modern.
yeah.
They try to make it more aggressive,
More
more sporty,
masculine.
more masculine. Yeah, they try to do that. But where did that come from is the question. Because
This looks like it was created by a younger base.
Yeah,
Someone who understands.
but
Someone who understands art
from
and styling.
America or from another country.
I think that's from America. It looks like it kind of
You,
has a
you,
similar
you,
front to like a Rav4. But then in terms of the tail,
the Rav4
in terms of
is
the headlight,
Japanese. So
yeah, I know. But I'm talking about in terms of Asian car markets. You look at from China to Japan. This looks like the front end of not the front end of a Rav4, but in terms of the headlights, I can see a similarity in them from me.
to me, it looks
I
like
don't think it was
it was
American
made by
design.
Neo. It just looks like I'll just go ahead and say it looked like it was made by Neo to me. I could be, somebody could knock me upside my head for saying that, but
I will.
oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
So what do you think then, Donald? Because
Okay. So here's my take on it. I do understand what you're saying, Kenyon, when you say it look like Neos to a degree, but it really don't. They have some similar elements, far as Redline reviews call it, the divorce headlights, right? Meaning the headlights are in the bumper, and Neo got that. But that's a lot of car companies are going
no,
that route.
it's the same exact headlights. Okay, look at the Neo ES6, the SUV I put up there. Look
Yeah, I
at that.
mean,
Neo
I'm
ES6.
I
Yeah, like
mean,
look at the front of the ES6. Okay, look at the front of it. It doesn't have a grill, but at the same time,
Oh, here we go.
it
Okay.
no, I mean, okay, it had okay, Kenyon. I can see some similar, right, design cues, right? I can get that, right? I can get down with that. But I don't think I think overwhelmingly I would have to say they did enough to difference to make the product different,
but
right?
if the ES6 was a gasoline car, it would have a
It
grill.
will have
That's
a
what I'm
grill.
saying.
Yes.
And
And you
guess
know
what?
what?
It would look similar.
Okay, and I'm not gonna knock you on that, right? I'm not gonna knock on it, but it doesn't. So I can go with it. All right.
I
So
mean, if the Enclave was electric, then let's look at that. I mean, not the Enclave, but yeah, as the
yeah,
Enclave was electric, it wouldn't have that grill. It would just be closed off. And
that's
so
true. And your argument is valid,
it's
but
it
it
just
doesn't.
doesn't.
So
It's a large departure from the previous generation.
and that's
Like
good
it's just
because they're trying to get a new demographic to buy it. They don't want geriatric patients to be buying their vehicle. They're trying to be inclusive of a newer generation because they understand that if their patients are all on their deathbed, who else gonna buy their vehicle? So that's just them being real. They coming to their fruition. Hey Chris, can you go to that
I mean,
interior shot?
I'm
Yeah.
glad the interior looks great. I'll give them that. I like the interior. I love it.
Yeah, I think
Um.
I
Yeah.
love the
Yeah.
interior.
Yeah. It's
I think the
but that
interior is
looks like
great.
similar to how the GM does it. I
Yeah,
mean, it looks just like how they do it. I mean,
yeah. I like it. I think they executed it well. It has physical buttons in it. You can go to the next slide for the interior. Yeah, they have physical buttons for health. I'm not health, but AC and things of that nature. So I think it's a plus, and I think it's going to be a seller. Plus, I think GM sales strategy is to essentially make this a trim level, right? Between the Chevy Traverse and the GM Arcadia, right? They're pretty much all the same vehicles.
Yeah, they
And
on the
Arcadia's
same
so,
crap.
platform.
yeah, and so
It's crap.
essentially,
Wait a minute.
well,
Hold on a
Arcadia,
second.
man.
Look, man.
Eh,
Look.
car
Well,
garbage.
well,
you
listen.
know, you got
Let me say this. Let me
but
say this.
I mean,
Let me let me
I
say
got
this
you.
though.
You got me on that. Touche. Touche.
Let me say this though. Let me say this. I think their sales strategy is smart, right? They're really what they're trying to do is create just another trim level. That's my thought process. And so if you want a higher level of sophistication, you just go up to Buick or GM, right? And so you have the Traverse, the GM Arcadia, and then you have the Buick Enclave. And you just going up each
God, all
level.
those cars suck.
Then you got the XT6, and
God, that's a
that's so
terrible. That's a
sad
terrible
though.
set of options.
How could Cadillac? How could they let that happen, man? When they have so much potential, man. I
They
mean,
did, they did. But you know what? Honestly, they did not have a platform. They would have to create an all new platform.
for the
Well, they could.
XT6, yeah.
Well, I take that back. They did. They could have used one of the GMC Canyon platform for the ST6.
I don't know if that would have worked
Man,
because that platform's not for on road comfort.
You're
So
right about that because it's yeah.
so
So
it'll be
I don't know, but
they just I can't believe it's kind of awkward because like we
it
all
looked like a
kind of laugh
minivan.
at Lincoln, but they did a
Cadillac
better
over here
job with
dropping the
that
ball.
Aviator.
Exactly.
But we don't. Do we like the Explorer as much as we do the Arcadia?
yeah. The nah, I don't like the Arcadia, man. I don't know. Either go to the Explorer. I don't like either of them really. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't really like either of them. Both
Yeah, I
cars
agree.
are designed to look like things don't even fit inside.
Yeah.
So I don't even like either of them. To be honest with you.
I say this about the Explorer. I like the proportions of the Explorer. I don't like the front fascia. Like I'm not really a fan of the front fascia. Um, with the Arcadia, it's not that attractive to me. I'm not that attracted to it. Okay, so that's Buick. Um, we gave Kenya. What was your grade again?
I gave Buick a what? Did I give it a D or a C?
A C, I
A
believe.
C.
And
That's
I
fair
Chris
gave it a
gave
enough.
it
D.
a D.
Of
I
course he
gave it
did.
I gave it a C, right? So I gave it a C. So moving on, Nissan.
All right. Yeah.
Woo! I remember the days with Nissan.
Hey yo, man.
Golly.
Nissan, they trying to come up now, man. For real though. They trying to, man. They saying they got a lot more products coming, but let's look at what they doing over here.
When they let the
And
Z kick, man, come on, Taylor.
I love the Nissan Z.
I'll take the Nissan Z over that Super, man.
No.
Yes. I'm
I
sorry,
No.
would.
Chris. Yes, Chris. Yes, absolutely.
No.
110 times out of 10, I'll take it. That's look. Okay. You know that's a Z4, right?
Y'all lost. Y'all lost.
Who lost?
It,
Lost what? What we lose?
man, that Supra, man. That car
Yeah.
is way better than the Z. It even looks better than the Z.
Oh
A bit
well,
tit
the
for tat for
looks.
me.
Well, I the
I buy
looks
both
is
of
is
them.
is 50-50, man, right now. I mean, as far as the looks, if you just want to look at them, but I just cannot get over the fact that it's a Z4. It's not a Toyota. That's the thing.
That's true.
Okay.
I will give you that. That is a gripe that I have with it. It is essentially a BMW with
Too
a
much of a
Toyota body.
BMW. I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
at least put an engine in there. At least do your
Yeah.
own suspension or something. Do something.
Yeah.
But
It
they
pretty much is a
just,
BMW.
yeah. So
But I've
now,
seen them things push, you know, 800, 900, even 1,000 horsepower out of them things. Some people have tuned the mess out of them Supras.
Hey, Chris, can
Yeah,
you
I
do me a
mean,
favor? And yeah, thank you. Okay, let's get this Nissan. So let's start with their total. They are up in quarter
Yeah, I mean, damn,
one.
they have a lot of They have a lot of cars, man. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, they are
They
8%,
are,
almost
yeah,
9%.
yeah. So I'm gonna lead in with Kenya. All right, Kenya. Judging by the numbers,
I mean,
what are you gonna give
they
them?
get
There's
a
one
lead.
car in here, King, that's odd that it dropped. It's interesting. I think you know what I'm talking about.
The Maxima? What you talking about?
The Altima.
The
The
Ultimate.
Altima dropped.
Okay, it dropped a little bit. It dropped a little bit.
Little
Not the
bit. That's
maximum.
12%.
Okay,
Almost
from
13%.
32,000 to 28,000. I mean,
That's big for that car, man. That car is like Nissan's, like almost like their flagship.
but the
That or the
Sentra,
Sentra.
went up
Sentra is
78% though.
The Sentra
So,
did numbers.
and
Yeah.
the Versa went up 91%. So, I mean,
Man.
now the Maxima we already know is out of production. So, I
Yeah.
mean, of course, that's not going to do no numbers. So, now the Nissan Leaf, that's down 51%. The
The
Z
Juke hated
went
that
up.
car.
I love that car, man.
Nah,
Juke?
I'm glad it's
Yeah.
gone. Man. Well,
That thing
Yeah.
belong. That's an alien. That's an alien spaceship.
Man, I love that car, man. In fact, it's one of their
Man, you got
best-selling cars.
extraterrestrials riding that thing.
zero.
I don't know why they're not selling it in America. They're selling it in the UK, but they're not selling it in America. So I don't know what's the deal.
Was it selling?
Because is it doing numbers?
I don't know.
wasn't
I don't know
selling,
the
man.
numbers for the UK, but I do
Wasn't
know
selling.
the former Juke was doing extremely well in America. So I don't know why they didn't bring it to the American
That
market.
car ugly. It's ugly.
Man, it's unique. It's not ugly.
It's
It's
unique, dumb man.
It's not beautiful.
Yeah,
I say
uniquely
that one.
ugly. Uniquely ugly.
It's unique. So Kenyon, what's going on? What's your grade?
Man, they were up 21% overall for cars. Okay, so I mean, honestly, I think they get at least a B plus, man.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, B plus. That's what I would say. Obviously, what
Okay.
stands out to me is the Altima dropped in sales. That car is like everything when it comes to Nissan. Like you see that car, that and the Sentra. The Sentra did good, but the Altima dropped. So I wonder why that is.
I like the
Okay.
Ultimate. I've driven it.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
actually
Altima's
quite
in the back.
nice.
I just wouldn't personally buy one or drive one because of the image it has.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah,
image.
yeah. Oh,
Man,
sad chick car.
yeah.
it's-
Is
it's-
that and it's the last car you want flying up on you on the interstate because they do not
Exactly.
know how to drive. They are the most
Exactly.
reckless drivers. Cars always beat up.
Exactly. And
It's
guess what car I'm currently driving right now?
The Altima.
Yeah, Altima. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, which year model though?
It's the old one.
The old one.
Which
Oh,
is
man.
roast. But no, so Chris, what's your grade?
B plus for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, B
great,
plus.
great.
They deserve that.
The Altima did drop a little bit in sales, but the Sentra did some very great numbers. 40 from 22,000 to 40,000. That's impressive.
Okay.
So that I gotta give them props for that, and they're up 8% in sales numbers. So
Okay.
yeah, I say
okay.
B plus.
Okay.
Yeah, they deserve that. The GTR's on is dang,
It's
that thing
old.
is still twitching.
Yeah,
That thing is still twitching though,
It's on
man.
the deathbed doing
It
it.
came out what 2007? Man,
He said,
Come on,
he,
man.
I'm,
These guys
I'm
gotta
you
do
know
still-
better.
car,
man.
you know what they do to them cars, man.
They
They
have
turn
to
them
do
cars
better
into
than
drag machines. See them
man.
things?
Yeah, I get it.
Look at Texas 2K video. Look at the Texas 2K GTR. That thing did 160 to 220. I think 2.8 in a GTR.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
They tuned the mess out of them.
Yeah, because they can take a lot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take over and I'm going to give my grade. One of the things I noticed is the Frontier is up, which is good. All right, mid-size truck. And
Yeah,
the
that's
Maxima.
a good point.
Kenya, did you say they discontinued the Maxima?
The maximum it should be gone. That's
but
being
they're selling
discontinued.
529
That's
units
in the first quarter of this
quarters,
year.
so it should be
So
discontinued, right? So
it's on its way out if it hasn't been already. It should be on its way out. It's
exactly.
Yeah.
official. It's official. I do know that.
Okay, great. So here's the thing: we all know Nissan and their strategy, right? Some companies like to be conservative, right? Nissan loves to be too conservative, right? To the point of failure, right? And we see that with Carlos Gosling, right? I'm not a big fan of his strategy and Nissan's strategy for
I
having a
mean,
nameplate that hasn't changed over 15 years. That's
what
kind of
nameplate are you talking
over-exaggerated.
about?
Right, right.
What
I'm talking
nameplate?
about like a maximum, right? I know that's an over exaggeration, right? But we do know Nissan will keep a vehicle unchanged
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
with no real deal refresh that is noticeable for
Yeah.
10, 11, 12 years. And that's crazy, right? Um, you have to be a little bit more adventurous and a little bit more daring when you're trying to get out there and create a new market, right? When you're trying to get into a market, right? And Nissan don't take those leaps of faith at all. They're very conservative, and that's crazy. That being said, they did extremely well, even for the sedans and the Frontier. I think, honestly, I'm gonna give them, since they went up, I give them
I want
a
to hear this.
A minus.
He gave him an A minus.
Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah,
guess that's fair.
I
yeah.
guess
It's
that's fair
fair.
enough.
It's fair.
That's fair.
Okay. So
Considering they got an old lineup, that's fair. Some of
we
their
got
cars.
a A and two B's.
2B+. Yep.
Two
Two
B
B
pluses.
Okay, moving on. Now this is when we get to the bad news, y'all. This is the bad news. Lucid is in his house.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This is when you don't want to show your mom and dad what's going on with you in school. And you just
Yeah.
kind of,
You get your
of,
report card.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as we see here, even on the front, I mean, Elon Musk tweeted,
Oh yeah, Elon
Saudi
Musk
sugar
trolling
daddy
them out there.
is the only thing keeping them alive. Listen,
And that's
Elon is
cool.
going. He's
He be
going to
going
ride.
in on
Yeah, because
Lucid,
and
man.
we know why.
You know,
Because
it's competition.
it's competition, and the guy who designed the first Model S is now the
Is
designer of that car.
yeah.
And so but Elon knows he's not stupid. He know that car looks better than his car. But
Exactly.
Lucid has to understand that may be the case, but Lucid has to release something that's first thing they gotta go on the Tesla charging platform.
I
They
don't
will
think
not
that's
survive.
not gonna happen.
And if it's not going to happen, then they're gonna leave the U.S. because
Wow.
Don't say that because I actually like the Lucid Air.
I don't want to say it, but they're gonna if they want to survive here in the U.S., they gotta go to Tesla charging platform. They have to, unless the government rolls out a billions of dollars in infrastructure for other charging networks like EVgo or whatever. Lucid is not going to survive here in America, man. Not with Elon bashing them. He's got his Tesla fanboys on his back talking about this car, and even him, and he's going to tear this car apart because it's competition. And the guy and him have history. So I think in order for Lucid to make it out to survive here in the US, they got to go to Tesla charging platform, and they have to release a vehicle that is, I would say, at least 60,000. 50, 60,000. This car is expensive, man.
Yeah,
It's really expensive.
The Air sedan is never going to sell in large numbers because, for one, it's a
flagship.
it's a mid to large size flagship, even though it's closer to mid size.
Actually,
And
is let me cut you off for 1 second.
It's got a large cabin for a
Interior.
mid-size
Yeah.
car. It's
Yeah,
got a
and it's
luxury
cabin.
car like a BMW 7 Series almost
Yeah.
size
Yeah.
interior, which is genius, to be honest, because the way they are able to do that is because their electric motors are so small, and they're so powerful at the same time. And nobody else has been able to pull that off except for them.
Yeah.
But even with that, for whatever reason, people have this golden rule. If it's not sitting up high, I don't want it. So stupid. You got a great vehicle right there. It's got a large trunk. I mean, got a large interior and a big front, because that small electric motor allows for a large front. So you have storage space in there. So you can't.
I don't understand why. What's the obsession with sitting up? I don't understand the obsession with sitting up.
You know what happened?
Well, they got the Gravity released coming soon. So we'll see if their sales numbers go up.
Okay, I'm gonna explain to the viewers what started this SUV sitting up trend, right? Because SUV's been around for years, right? But what started this trend was the luxury market. When Lincoln Navigator came out, when the Cadillac Escalade came out.
Actually, the one that started it, at least the small ones, well, the large ones, yes. The small compact ones, the ones that are actually doing the numbers, Lexus.
But no, what I'm trying to say, what initially started this trend, right, was
initially started the trend. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But not people, more so women are like, okay, if I can't get this vehicle, let me get this more affordable vehicle that give me that exact same feel. Because again, I have a wife now, so I want an SUV. I want to look down on people.
Yeah, and so, I want to be able to haul things, and
and they don't do nothing.
They don't do no hauling.
Well, I have to have stuff around my kids, Is it? You got space for your kids in the back seat.
You have one child, Mel. One child. Look, and you saying you have kids.
And kids love cool cars, man. Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah.
So
if you're gonna do it for somebody, do it for your kid.
They love cool cars.
Go get you a Lucid.
Get you a Lucid Air. What happened? I had some robotic students. When they first saw my car, they took off running. I ain't ever seen them move that fast. But when they saw my car, they were like, "Dang, that's the coolest car I ever seen." It wasn't no daggone crossover. That's why. It was a cool sedan. It had more than enough space for them, man. So, I don't get it. But the sales numbers are going to go up with this Gravity. It's a 3-row crossover. And I'm expecting their numbers to go up, of course, because those are the volume selling vehicles, crossovers. I do agree with you, Chris. They do need a $50,000 car on the market, like the Model 3 and the Model Y.
Because now hold on, because they did announce that they did tease a smaller SUV to compete against the Model 3 and Model Y. That was another article that Car Scoops did come out with. Actually, it's right here on the bottom, right there. Lucid teases smaller SUV to fight Tesla Model Y and 3. So I think we should be expecting something soon to be in competition with those vehicles.
Okay, well that's good. They have enough time. They're being funded by Saudi Arabians, so
and that money's
okay.
Damn near infinite.
Yeah,
exactly.
They're not in any type of trouble. Tesla, Elon Musk can say what he likes. They're in good hands right now.
Imagine the day, y'all, if Lucid releases a line of vehicles that are in direct competition with Tesla and their Model Y and Model 3, and they have full backing from Saudi Arabia, advertisement, production, everything, and next you see a complete switch up.
Well,
imagine that.
At what price though? Are they going to be? Are they actually going to be at the same price? Because the Air sedan is more expensive than the Model S. Base price, everything. So, is it actually going to be?
But King, you gotta remember, they can't survive here without the platform.
Not here.
They have to get on the platform.
You are absolutely
Listen, they're gonna have to let his pride go. He's gonna have to let his pride go.
Well, Elon Musk called them trash fires.
Yeah, he called them a dumpster fire.
He called them dumpster fires. He does not like Lucid. And I get it. We don't know what happened between, those two
Yeah,
before. What is his name? Peter Rollins. You know,
I
when
think
he
that
when
yeah.
he left the company, I don't know. Maybe there's some personal beef. It doesn't look like that they're gonna, you know, get him get on that charge network with Tesla.
I think they
So
That doesn't
will.
look like it's. You think that actually he's gonna swallow his pride?
Yes,
I don't
yes.
yeah,
think Elon. I
It's
don't think
not
Elon
about
wants that
swallowing
I would
competition.
proud.
Can you if I'm
What,
him, I would
what,
rather swallow my pride and release vehicles that would be in direct competition against his, and have the full backing of a Saudi Arabian oligarchs and business owners to back me up to take Elon out or be up in his face. I would 100% do that rather than just take my stuff over to Europe or wherever, because over there, it's like you have a market, yeah, but the American car market, man, speaks volumes all over the world. So I think if he wants to go the route of get on the charging network and then start releasing vehicles that are in the same price or tax bracket, I should say, of the Model Y and Model 3, they will be fine. Because listen, they got the Air Sapphire, they got all those. We've already seen those things will whoop a Model S Plaid any day
Yeah,
of the week. But
yeah,
if
I
they
mean,
can whoop a Model Y and Model 3 and be on that platform and still hit that same tax bracket, that same price point, oh, I think Tesla will have some things to worry about. I
yeah.
100% Tesla has some things to worry about.
They would. But here's the thing: Elon Musk made a statement years ago saying that he doesn't. His, you know, belief is that we have to remember how Elon Musk thinks. Because he's a green person.
not
You
really, but
know,
go ahead.
I'll just say
He
that
claims
because
to be.
he that's what
PR
hey
wise, yeah.
he is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he says he is. He believes that putting all this pollution into the atmosphere is the
That's
worst
bull.
human experiment ever created, ever
I know it's
performed,
bull.
and he doesn't like it. So um, he's so green that he believes that you know even if a car company comes along and has better technology than his own and ends up putting him out of business. He made this statement in an interview. It's a real
Yeah.
statement.
Yeah, I heard it. I remember.
He
Mm-hmm.
said he doesn't care.
And he's
And,
lying.
what, as
He's
long as
lying
he
because he knows
saved
because
the
he
planet. That's what he
No,
said.
he's listen, listen,
He
listen.
said as long as
That's
he
the
no,
saves
thing.
the
he's
planet.
every American CEO, businessman, businesswoman is in favor of saving their pockets, not the
Exactly.
planet.
Exactly.
The planet will be fine. The people will.
Yeah.
That's all. That the people are screwed.
Well,
Exactly.
to a degree, I actually believe him because
Oh, Kenyon.
look.
Oh, you don't drink the Kool-Aid, King?
He drunk a
No,
whole lot of it.
no. What I said to a degree. I'm not saying he don't care about the money because I do believe he does care about being first to a degree, but
Right.
he's the one
Like,
who encouraged this EV war.
let me cut you off right now, Kenyon, because I believe what you're gonna go with, and you're gonna say he implemented the and released the patents
Because
of,
look at
and
what
you
he's
about to say
doing.
that, right?
Look at what he's
About the
doing. He's not monopolizing. He's not monopolizing the EV market as much as he used to. I think
Kenyon.
that's going to change. Well, listen to hear what I got to say because he's allowing competition. He's allowing them to be on his charge network. He's allowing BMW, who's increasing in EV sales right now, to be on his charge network. Why would he do that knowing they make better cars than his?
Kenyon, listen to me. Listen to me. It's something. It's called the Google effects, right? Let me get the floor now. It's called Google effects, right? And it's also is a act of war, right?
It ain't no war.
Listen,
I don't
listen to
know what he's
me.
doing.
Listen to me, Kenyon. If you and Chris was to go to war, I'm going to invest in both of you guys, right? And I'm
Yeah.
also going to invest in myself. And in that process, guess what? I don't care who loses. I'm gonna win, right? So it's an
Yeah,
act
because he
of
got money in both
contrition.
pools.
Exactly. And so he's building a network of financial gain, right? Where it's a pool where people are pouring in financially into his pool. And so that's a payment fee. That's a payment fee that he is attributing from each company, right? And so when they help build up the network, right? It's money in his pocket,
That's
right?
right.
And
Because they're gonna have to
now,
pay him to be on it.
now,
exactly,
Guarantee he
now
not doing it for free.
if it
exactly.
hurts them, if the sales of those cars is so good where Tesla starts really, really sliding, like for real,
That's
for
not
real.
gonna happen.
Now he's counting on that not happening. That's the thing.
Yeah,
But it can. It
I
can
don't.
happen. It's far fetched, I will admit, but it can happen. I'm just saying that.
Okay, listen. Let me interject this, and I think we get to the point where okay, we don't want to be a dead horse, but it is also going back to this whole ideal that we discussed this in previous podcasts, right? That is a symbol, is a badge, it's a sign of
It's a
status.
club.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
club, and you ain't in it.
Yeah, and so with that being said, once this died down, this is an electric bubble, right? We are already having a huge influx of people leaving EVs from China and California to hybrids, right? There's a huge migration, right? And so
Yeah.
the new EV buyers are the people who are not aware of the current situation or the current status of EV, right? And so these are the people, I hate to say it, these are the wannabes, right? And they're buying it because it's a sign of a status symbol, right? But
Yeah.
that being said, right, once this bubble pop, I don't think he's going to have any competition because his true competition is hybrid. And once
Yeah.
this EV bubble pop, I don't think no company is going to want their hand in the EV market. Period. Mercedes is already struggling, right?
Yeah.
And so
They're doing terrible.
terribly,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so they're struggling. So
They-
my thing is,
They try to
They
face
need
it
to
with the
fix
EQS,
it,
and that thing don't look. As a matter of fact, to me, it looked worse.
Look,
Exactly.
they did a worse job than what they did before.
and so let me interject this, right? So Kenya, to your point, I understand what you're saying, but the way the market is going, it's going to have a huge dip, and he's not going to have any competition because he's not going to be in competition himself, right? And so he's going to have enough to sustain probably the bare minimum. But there's a huge dip about to happen, right, in 2 to 3 years, right, when all these neophytes find out the EV ain't the way, right? It's not. You need to have at least 2 vehicles and then an EV if you want to have an EV. It's not plausible to have an EV. So once everybody understands this information, then he's not going to have any competition. And I don't think he's going to have any competition for anybody else outside of hybrids. So
Yeah.
it's a smart move, and they're seeing these sell dips, and they're seeing these people sell their EV for hybrid or ICE, but hybrid is going through the roof. That's in America and in China.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah,
True.
I just think ultimately, he, this is a brilliant idea from Elon Musk, and this to gain as much capital as possible right
Yeah.
now. So creating a pool like Google would do. Google would create a pool, and with that pool, they're guaranteed to make money off of it. It
That's
seems
right.
like they're doing things for free for us, but they're not.
No.
They're
Behind the
making
scenes,
plenty. Yeah,
they charging premium.
exactly,
If you're on this platform, you're gonna have to pay.
exactly.
Who knows?
Yeah,
They may use
but
they may
unless
use
you
those
become a
funds.
member,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you become
Well,
a
yeah.
member, then you don't have to be charged a premium.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to Okay, what grade, Chris, do you think we should give Lucid? And be nice. Be nice now. Don't
They
be
only got
mean.
one car, so
Yeah, really.
they got one car.
I would say they expect to grow in 2024 to 9,000 units from their produced in 2023, which is 8,428. A C plus.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll go for that.
I'll go for that too. I give them about a C.
A C plus. Okay, C plus it is, right? So we're gonna lead into this, right? Chris, stop staying with you. Um, let's see.
The two
I'm gonna
American
bring.
electric midsize crossovers.
I don't necessarily say mix size, but I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna send you this in your let's see. Hold for 1 second. Lucid.
I got the gravity up here, and I also got the Cadillac, the Vistique.
Oh yeah, can you put
Yeah.
them side by side?
The two
Yeah.
American midsize SUVs, midsize electric SUVs.
I don't know. The Vistique is it's a nice size. It's a decent size.
Yeah, it's
That
midsize.
I like the way that car looks.
that should have been the ST6.
Exactly. That is
Yeah.
exactly what you stole the words right out of my mouth.
I know.
That is exactly what the XT6 should have been. Now, here's the problem I'm having with that, because I know Cadillac is going to say, well, the fact that it went all electric, it allowed us to make it so much
Shut
better.
up! Nobody cares.
It's just like, come on, man. This is what the XT6 should have looked like, and this is
Exactly.
and
this would have
if
did
it had
numbers.
looked like this, it would have did much better numbers.
It would have did numbers.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
Better numbers for certain.
Okay, we're gonna lead in with Chris. Okay, Chris. Do you think? Okay, first of all, first question is a twofold question I want to give you. Do you think the gravity will increase the sales of Lucid, right? Exponentially.
What's it priced at?
They did
That's
not
all
quite
what's going to
say.
come down to.
They're claiming it's going to be at the most.
It's going to be they're going to be
80
similar
grand.
price.
80 grand
for a midsize. Now, if it's a large crossover, then like a BMW X7, then it's going to be like.
I want to see. I want to see here. If the Lucid I'm gonna look it up right here. The Lucid Gravity, they have a price for it. They're saying less than 80,000 for the base trim.
For the
now,
base,
the Touring at 100,000, the Grand Touring 130, and the Sapphire, of course, 250,000. Oh Lord.
Oh my Lord! They cutting their legs right from underneath them. They might as well not even sell cars. Golly.
And then if we look at the Cadillac,
the Vistique, I don't think it's been priced yet, so we don't.
But they said it's going to be around 65, 70.
That I'd be surprised. It would have to be 70 something thousand, because the Lyric is already what, 60 grand,
60 something, yeah.
They said it's going to be less than 80,000.
So it's going to be like 75, pretty much. They're going to be around the same price.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Will this change anything for? Now, remind me, is Cadillac on Tesla's charging network?
Yeah. They're going General Motors, yes.
Yeah.
The question is who is not? That's the real question.
It will not do better. I don't think it's going to change much. To be honest,
why
because,
you say that?
Because I think me personally, okay, I like the front of the car, but I don't like the back of the car. I think they could have done better, in my honest opinion. Now you look at the Lucid Airs; those look great. I think the Gravity, I don't know, it's okay. The Vistique killed it. This car killed it in every way. I just don't see this car being in a position where it's going to affect Lucid to the point where they're going to be in the market and compete against, whether it's the Model Ys, whether it's the EQS or the EQ. What's the one that is it? The EQL they have?
EQE.
EQE. You have BMWs. I don't know, man. I just don't see this car. I think they gotta hit the sedan market first, because what is this car going to change if you look at the Model Y sales? Because we're going to have to keep going back to the Model Y, because that is the signature selling EV around the world.
That's a smaller EV, by the way.
It's smaller, but why they need to be targeting that? They don't need to be targeting
the
a larger
X.
stock. Yeah, they don't need to be targeting, because that car isn't doing the numbers like the Model Y is doing.
Exactly.
So I don't know who they're in competition with this thing. Are they in
Yeah, and
competition
the
with?
Model X is is not doing as good as it should. I
Speaking
would
of,
think it would be. I
sorry,
mean,
I saw a Cybertruck yesterday. Got to tell you that. I saw a Cyber. It was right outside the job, King. Right
And it wa-
outside.
and it was beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh, it was ugly. It's hideous.
Oh, okay. Well, we're gonna put
how we
Chris
get
on the
on that
playlist
subject?
for his eyes.
All right,
So
But no,
The Model
it's
X,
not. Go ahead.
the Model X's sales took a hit too for
Yeah.
Tesla, and that's not really that big of a seller. I don't know if that's because of reliability though. Some people don't, them doors, they get stuck. I don't know, but
Well,
it,
maybe they're trying to target that car a little bit first to see what they can do against that.
there are.
And
That's
they've already
exactly what the
and when they've already
Lucid
teased they're going to
Gravity
release
is.
them smaller to the Model Y and Model 3. So maybe they want to see what they can do first against that car and what they're going to and when they since they're teasing the smaller vehicle for that's going to target the Model Y and Model 3, then we're going to see what they're going to do with that. I think they're going to I think they're kind of gradually getting in to see
okay,
where they can hit Tesla at. Because
okay,
you gotta think as a Lucid owner, your only target is that guy, is Elon and Tesla.
Yeah,
How
because
much how much he said about you? Because legacy car makers aren't doing numbers. They're not.
right.
They're not. And to be honest, the Lucid Air looks better than what most of these legacy car makers are releasing. To be
that's
honest,
real. That's
True.
real.
it looks a lot
It
better.
does. It does.
So I think they're not worried about the legacy car makers. They want to go after the head honcho, and that is Elon and Tesla. So I think this car here is going to gradually show them a little bit of presence to the Model X. It's not. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna expect this car to sell like even a Model X, but they want to see what it can do against it. Will it compete in numbers? And if they see that it competes in numbers, then they can make an inference. Okay, well, if this competes against the Model X, what happens if we release the model, whatever they're going to release in competition with the Model Y and Model 3? What can we do here? Which is a really stiff competition. You're going against almost 500,000 in sales against from the Model Y to the Model 3. So you got some stiff competition there. But I think Lucid is going to take it slow, gradually, see where they stand, and that, yeah.
I think I kind of agree because to be honest, because like I look at the Lucid Air and the Model S, and the Model S, you see that around all the time. That car did sell very well,
Yeah.
from the very beginning, and
Yeah.
you just don't see the Lucid Air out there, and it's doing very small numbers. Now you could attribute that to the higher base price tag that the Air sedan has, and it's the fact that it's a little bit bigger, a little bit less sporty than the Model S. So we'll have to see, if this car is going to be priced like a Model S, because if it is priced like a Model X, if it is priced at that point, then I would have to say that, okay, maybe the first year you won't see the full potential of the sales numbers it's going to get, but maybe the second year you'll see how well it's really going to do. I think it is going to outsell the Model X if it's priced the same. If you can't really compare the Air and the Model S because they're at two different price points. But if these cars are going to be at the same price point, I would favor the Lucid for sure.
Yeah.
Now,
definitely.
As far as the Vistique, another American crossover, electric crossover, mid-size crossover. That's a good question.
What is the question?
Is going to be.
It's
going to be in competition with everything else that's in its class. I don't think it's
going to do the good numbers.
I don't think so either.
Not as much as I don't know if it's going to do as good as the XT6.
Look at that body, man.
The XT6 didn't do that good.
Wouldn't have been nice for the XT6 to have that body.
Just
man.
like that.
It looks exactly like the car. I mean, it's like they just took it and threw it and just put it on an EV platform and just did an upgrade. Like, why didn't they do this with the XT6, man?
Because they're lazy and they're trifling. That's why. So let me ask you the question. So you guys kind of answered the question, right? but I want to go back over it, right? So, Kenya, I'm gonna lead in with you with this one. Do you think that the Vistique will be able to compete against which one you think will fare better, the Vistique or the Gravity?
Oh man, two American mid-size electric SUVs.
Okay.
Uh, oh man. Well, that is a good question. I I'll say this: the Cadillac has got a big advantage because it's on Tesla's network,
Yeah,
and so
like I
that's
said.
already a huge advantage right there. Just
Yeah,
whoever wins the reviews, that remains to be seen.
because
I
how
don't know.
often do you see a Lucid throughout your day, Cam? Throughout the week, I'll
I
say
have
that.
I can only name how many times I might have saw one this year. It might have been one time I've seen a Lucid this
I
I
year.
probably
seen
seen
him.
one.
Period.
I probably seen one around 3 times this whole entire year so far.
I seen him about 5 times. I ain't even
But
lying.
I tell you what, I do see a lot now.
What?
The Lyric.
Me
I do
too.
see the lyric. The
Me
lyric
Yeah.
too.
is the lyric
So
is picking up
so
now, and so
we
that's the
can make an
thing though.
inference
That
based off of just these two. The Lyric is already being presented out. We are already seeing this car. And because in the city you'll have a way better chance of seeing more of the newer cars because you have higher tax bracket, things like that. People want to have nicer things, whatever it may be. The Lyric's already being seen. The
Yeah.
Lucid's been out way longer than the Lyric, and I've only seen it a handful of times.
But remember, it's a
Oh,
sedan. It's not a fair comparison.
I get it, but at the same time, we have to understand that if I'm a buyer, I would rather go to a platform that is more reliable, that it has a better network, and where when I need to go charge somewhere, I don't really have to necessarily worry about if I have to go to EV Go charge platform that is 20, 30 miles away. I only got 8 miles of range.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
just
It's
it's
got a
more
big
practical.
advantage. It's got
well
a huge
said.
advantage.
Well said, Chris.
And
Well said.
and you see the lyric on the road. So it's a legacy car maker, and Lucid is new. That's going to be very, very interesting to see. So I would say this. I would say if I was to make a prediction, okay, now this is going to be available in early 2025, so we're not really going. The Lucid Gravity is supposedly available this year,
Yeah.
and so it's going to be interesting to see. And remember, I think that the Vistique is going to sell a little bit faster than the Lucid because
I agree.
for one thing, Cadillac knows how to build good cars. We all know that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're going to be on Tesla's charge network gives them a huge advantage over that Lucid Gravity.
Lucid. Yeah.
And it could be that if you review both of them, it could be that that the Gravity might get more positive reviews. It could be, but that charge network,
but that ain't gonna beat the
and it might have more
S21
range. It might have more range than the Vistique. The Vistique is gonna have what 300 miles of range,
I was probably
and
around
then
that.
the
Yeah.
Gravity is probably gonna have what 370.
Yeah.
They said projected range is over 440.
Okay, let's just cut the crap.
No,
I mean, it's that's what that's what they said. It might
Okay, I
have
but
at least
apologize.
that's one
400
of
miles of
Lucid's
range.
selling points, though.
I apologize.
They make cars that have range on them.
They
They
do.
do.
They do.
They do.
They're just
They
super
do.
freaking
But
expensive.
the fact that they not on that charge network though,
Is a disadvantage to them.
they gonna go to electrify America for one thing. Even with the fact that it's even more sparse than the Tesla charge network. EV Go and ChargePoint, all three of them are not reliable all the time, even if you find them.
And that's real.
because
That's
they'll
real.
put them in the dude.
And you gotta
I
and you
encourage
gotta buy
everybody.
an app and sign up as a member to use them.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to go watch Rich Rebuild's driving experience on the Rivian R1T and what it was like going to finding those charge points for those cars.
It was horrible.
It was atrocious. This guy was in the back of a motel parking lot, in a Walmart, at the back of a motel, in a Walmart parking lot, in the middle of the night, and the thing didn't even work.
Yeah.
He's going to hotels. Some hotels aren't even letting you do it for free. You'll have to be a, you'll have also have to be you'll have to be you'll have to have a just be staying there to use a charge network.
Yeah,
If you're picking EVgo, ChargePoint, or Electrify America,
and that's
Tesla
crazy.
is fine. Tesla is fine. They don't mind Tesla, but if you're using any of the other charge networks, you have to stay at the hotel, and they're always in odd areas. They're always in
Yeah,
odd areas.
dangerous
Yeah.
areas.
I mean, that in Tesla's charge networks are, charge stations
Dude,
in our areas.
if
Sometimes.
you go to Alpharetta, you go to the Avalon, there is charge networks all in the freaking the garage. For all the cars for you to park in the parking garage, there is charge networks from the start all the way down to the bottom. And you got people sitting in there charging their cars and their phones nonstop. It's just like it's they're everywhere, man. They're even putting them in at gas stations. So it's steady. They are steadily expanding, constantly. But Electrify America, EVgo, ChargePoint, they're only going to be less of those. Only less of those.
Yeah, it's a big selling point. So I think that the Lucid Gravity is going to do better numbers than the Air sedan. That's a given. But what they need to do is figure out, hey, Elon Musk, let's squash this beef, man, because we're struggling over here.
No,
Let's squash this beef, man. Let's let bygones be bygones, man. We barely can't make it, man. We can't even outsell a car that has 100 miles less range than us.
Yeah. Here's the thing: they don't even have to squash it. They just gotta swallow their pride and be like, you know what, we'll get on your platform, but
they gotta squash the beef, man. They got to squash. They gotta swallow their pride. They gotta squash their beef, man.
Would be in favor if they did, because Tesla. We all know how Tesla fanboys are. They will anything Elon says attack, they attack. They will go after. That's how they operate. And God forbid you go for his car on a Twitter. If you go for a Tesla on Twitter and you call it ugly or trash, you will have 300 replies by the morning.
Yeah,
and they will all be against you.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This thing,
you just never drove in one. You never drove one before. They all gonna say that. I get it, but look. They need to get on that charge network because they only gonna go but so far. You talking about the Air sedan got 8,000 units the whole year?
Yep,
the whole entire year.
And they're project 80. I think it was 8,423. And they're projecting 9,000 next. So that's not even that big of a jump. I mean, it shows you how low their bar is.
Now, what are their projections for the Gravity SUV?
I don't know if they've,
because I'm thinking like, if you look at the ratio between 3-row SUVs versus, you go ahead and say it, large full size luxury saloons, it's a big gap. I mean, there with that. I would expect them to want to go for 25,000, 30,000 a year at least for that. But with that, Electrify America, ChargePoint, EVgo, it's not going to be good enough. They're going to get outsold by EVs that have less range at the same price point. If they don't get on that charge network, that's what's going to happen, regardless of how nice their cars are.
Yeah. And we know that we know they are nice, but they're of no use if they're not on a sort of reliable platform that everyone can access with that vehicle. Nah, because listen, man, ain't nobody in their Lucid pulling up in the back of a motel parking lot to charge their $250,000 Air Sapphire, their Gravity, or whatever. They're not doing it, man. They would rather get towed back to their mansion than go back there and be scared. Please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it ain't happening.
Okay, we're gonna be moving on. So we're gonna go to number 4 because we kind of cover pretty much everything, right?
Oh yeah. So
do you want to go to do you guys want to cover number 1? Because I feel like we covered number 1 on
Porsche believes that we covered that already.
Yeah, okay. Let's go to number 4 then. Right. Hey Chris,
So
may you do me a favor and pull up pull
the
up
Forbes article
um
are we going to Mazda Spirit R?
your concept. Let's do the Spirit R concept. It should be a red car. So let me, in fact, I send it to you. Actually, no,
Yeah,
just
go
go
ahead.
to netcarshow.com
Okay.
and see if you can see Monster netcarshow.com Mazda Spirit R concept. The iconic is the iconic. So I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. Copy.
Mazda Spirit Racing.
Just
So
send the link to me.
yeah, all right, I'm about to. You said Monster Spirit Racing, can you? So what? Okay, are we not talking about the concept or what?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it's called. The Mazda Spirit Racing concept, Miata and 3.
Oh, you. Oh, I forget. We dealing with a fanboy. My bad. He
Man,
gave
look,
us the
man, look,
he gave us the
look,
full name.
look.
That's
That's
why I
right.
was
That's
looking.
right.
I was looking
Look,
for it.
put
I
some
was just
respect
like,
on their name, man.
what are you talking about? He
Put
said
some
Monster
respect on their
Spirit.
name, man.
Look, I had to go by faith. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, Monster Spirit. I couldn't even, man.
Look,
Okay.
you gotta put some respect on their name for real, man.
Okay. So let's lead in with this question.
That ain't
I ain't
even
gonna
it.
be.
That ain't even it. I was talking about a Mazda Spirit Racing sub brand launched with the Racer MX-5 and a
Oh,
Mazda
you
3.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That's the Forbes
Okay.
article. That's the
Monster.
Forbes.
Oh, do it. Do it.
I'm pulling
Monster
it up right here. Yeah, here we
Spirit.
go.
Okay.
Let me disable this. What? Yeah, here we go. It's just that Forbes be throwing abs all in my face. I was gonna pull up images of it.
Oh well, here. Tell you what, I'll share the screen I have right now.
All right. I feel like I'm banned from sharing screens. I swear, I just like I want to pull it up on my screen, and everybody like, no, just no screen time for you, dog. So yeah, Monster Spirit Racing sub brand. Do we
Yep.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is it.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah, there it is, right there. I
I
see it
really
here.
don't know how to lead in with this because okay,
Uh,
let me take this stage and then we're gonna let Kenya have his fun or whatever, whatever he
no,
thinks
we
he
both
do.
gonna have our fun.
Oh, I keep
Cause
forgetting I'm the only one with the same mind. So okay, I'm gonna take the
That's right,
stage
man. You better
and
put some respect on their name, dog.
so after I take this
Put some
after
respect
I
on
take
it,
the
man.
stage, Chris gonna take the stage, and after Chris, Kenyon, you do whatever you want to do. All right, and then I'm just gonna immediately cut you out. So, okay, so we have a new sub brand for Monster, right? Immediately,
Hopefully,
so
hopefully.
hopefully,
yeah,
hopefully, right? Immediately, so like I'm a huge fan of Monster, right? But I'm more of a casual. I'm gonna be 100 with you, right? But I do love their design. I do love what they bring to the table, and I love how they understand how to sell their product, right? And they're
yeah,
very conservative about it, but they sell majority of their stock, which is awesome, right? And by stock, I mean product. And
yeah,
so they sell it, and that's awesome. With this new sub brand supposedly being launched, I think it's going to be a difference in the sense of the monster occult following will appreciate this uh, greatly. As into people who are new to the brand or are unfamiliar with the brand, I don't think it's going to pay big dividends. All right, I don't think it's going to be a difference maker at all. All right, and I'm
I
just
mean,
being 100 with you. I think if you do think it's going to be a difference maker, then it's clear to me that you are biased and you have some
Man,
type of bias uh fleeing towards monsters. So I don't understand.
you
I should
lost
die.
No,
you 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 you
I'm
lost in the
being
sauce
honest.
now.
I'm being honest with you. I think it's going to be a
This
difference
is
maker
what people are
for.
calling for, man. What you mean?
Yeah.
No,
People,
this is what Monster
no, this is
following is calling for.
No, because
this
when
is
that Mazda 3 came out, what was the first thing everybody was saying? Oh, it ain't a Mazda speed, it ain't a Mazda speed. So
yeah,
now they going
exactly.
back into that rate. This move, Donald, is about brand positioning and market impact.
With
At this
who?
point,
Let me ask you this question. With who? Who outside of the
but
Monster loyals? Who are they impacting? I want to know.
Dude,
this
like
Go ahead. Answer the
you
question,
this is
Chris.
the
you don't
first time
understand.
that
Like people
Mazda.
love the
This
speed. Okay, the
is
Mazda
supposed to
speeds, man.
symbolize Mazda's ambition to reposition itself as a more premium brand and offering a higher quality and more innovative designs. And when you go to the race department, we're talking. This thing is, in my opinion, is supposed to be a Type R slash GR Corolla competitor, direct competitor. It is built for racing. It is built for track. It is not built as it is not. It is a turbo car that is just quick. Listen, we all know how great the Model 3 is, but this is track built, track ready. And in terms of market impact, this is out here to rejuvenate the brand and its racing scene, and attract customers looking for premium features at a slightly lower price point than traditional luxury brands. So Mazda knows exactly what they're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Chris, I want you to answer the question.
I would
All
even
right.
say
No,
it's
no,
an
no.
Integra Type S competitor. I wouldn't even
Cause
call it a Civic
can,
Type R
We
or a
can
can
go
you
there
GR.
hold
No,
too.
we can go to
We
the
can go there
Integra
too.
Type
no
S.
hold
That's
hold
right.
hold for one
That's
second.
right. Wait,
Hold for one
what?
second.
All right.
Hold for 1 second. I want Chris to answer the question, and I just spit out facts and figures that has nothing to do with my question. Who are they going to attract outside of Monster loyals? Huh?
Uh,
Outside of
the
the cult
the
following.
people the people that were complaining that it wasn't a Mazda Speed and took them way over to go get a Type R and a GR Corolla, they'll be back. They'll be back.
Okay.
Man, look, like I
Okay.
said, they're going for Integra Type S.
Yeah,
Can
and
you
they're
it's
going
right.
upmarket,
Yes, exactly.
and
okay?
they're going
Integra
upmarket.
Type S, Audi
So,
S3.
but let me
That's
ask you this,
right.
Donald. Let me ask you this, Donald.
What?
What does Genesis have?
We're gonna get to them in
Oh.
a second. Just a second. We're gonna get to them. Now, both of this is old news, so
Oh my
we're gonna
God,
get to
y'all!
them in a second, though.
I swear. Okay,
We're
Kenya,
gonna get to them.
You
Oh,
take the lead. Take the lead. Do
look,
whatever you want. All right.
Mazda needs this because Mazda kind of they've always kind of they've been kind of play it safe for a while. You know,
Yeah,
if in terms of because they're a smaller company
and
and
they've been
they're trying to
cleaning up their image.
yeah, they're trying to get away from the Ford ownership era
Right.
where I didn't really like their look at him laughing. He's laughing. But you can laugh, but guess what? He who laughs last laughs the loudest. And I guarantee you, before this is over, I don't have the last laugh. We gonna get on you know who right after this.
Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
They, ever since 2012, have said they want to be viewed as a premium automaker. And I laughed them to scorn. I did. But, after researching them and looking at them for so long, when you look up other cars, their name was always coming up. Always coming up by, the journalists, the reviewers, the magazines, the video reviews always mention it. If you were looking at a Sentra, Jetta, didn't matter, Corolla, they would mention the Mazda 3 as being the top class, the class leader, not in terms of sales, but in terms of just, how they craft their driving dynamics and the way the car looks and feels on the inside. They've been elevating since, and people have been calling for Mazda to bring back their high performance division, the Mazda speed cars, because those cars historically were very fun to drive. Now, Mazda has said, look, we don't want to bring back Mazda speed because we're maturing as a brand. We're starting to grow up. And so people were like, "Oh, well, dang, that means that the Mazda 3 Turbo that we have now is not actually the Mazda Speed 3." And no, it's not. And I absolutely, but still, I drove the Mazda 3 Turbo and I had a blast. Both me and Chris, we went on joyrides in that thing.
We were taking, extended the lunch break about 30 minutes.
Yo, we took an extra. Look at him, y'all. Yo. That thing is awesome. I love that car. The Mazda 3 Turbo I fell in love with it, man. I didn't even want to give it back. I don't know what they do to it, but it just felt so good. The way it delivers power, the way it handles, its interior quality.
The car knew everything you wanted to do before you did it.
And it was amazing. And so I know that Turbo 4, I personally believe they can extract more out of it. And
for sure.
But
I will say this though, I think they should change it. I think they should drop that inline 6 turbo.
I don't think they're gonna drop an engine that big inside of a compact size car, because that's like dropping a V6 inside the Integra, and it's just I mean, maybe you can do it, but I don't think they're going to do that for that car. I think they should just give it more horsepower, maybe up to 300 horsepower. Maybe that should be the limit for a Spirit Racing, 3. It wouldn't make sense for them to stay at the same 250 horsepower. I don't think they're going to.
I'll say this, though. I think they should give it headroom for it to be tuned. And they should build that engine up to where it can have more than that, to where it's almost like they're just soft capping it. To where if it's got 325 or 330 at base, someone gets a hold on one, they can push that thing to, who knows, 4, 5, maybe. They need to introduce themselves back into the tuner world, because the tuner world misses the Mazda Speed and the RX-7. Well, they need to reintroduce themselves into that market too, but still stay on top of it. We're going up market.
I think that's a hard. That's something I think is almost not impossible to do. Like that's a very hard call to make for any car company to do.
They thought the RX-7 and the Mazda Speed were like the tuner.
I mean, the Miata gets tuned.
I'm not denying that, but just think about we also talking about branding, right? So when you are developing a car upmarket, that they are least likely to be tuned. Like upmarket cars such as Mercedes, BMWs, right?
The Mercedes definitely get tuned now. Trust me.
Nope.
They don't get tuned as much, but
the people who tune Mercedes are the elite creme de la creme, Brabus. Who else?
Well, not even when I say tune, I'm not even talking about just in terms of like Brabus and Mansory or those companies. I'm talking about just
you're talking about
having those tuning. Like engine tuning, like guys at the shop that can push these cars to 800, 900 horsepower from a stock 6 or a stock 5. I'm talking about those kind of guys. I mean, because think about it, BMW. There's tuned M4s, M3s, M2s all over the road.
Yeah, that's true.
C63, C63S tunes all over the road. Audi RS3, RS5, they're all over the road tuned. They always got tunes on them. So
that's true.
I saw four M4s fly past me. 4 of them completely tuned. These things were popping all the way down the highway. So I think you don't have to almost like sell yourself out to go up market, but not cater to that tuner world. Mazda. I'm not worried about Mazda going to no Brabus or Mansory. That's not even their style. That's a European style. Mansory and Brabus and those guys, they do Mercedes, BMW, but the Maybachs and stuff like.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about them. When it comes to engine, The first thing people said when that Mazda 3 came out is not a Mazda Speed, because they knew what the Mazda Speed could do.
Yeah.
If you look on Facebook Marketplace, these dudes is pushing Mazda Speeds to crazy numbers.
Yeah,
Crazy
400
numbers.
horsepower and whatnot. Yeah.
They want that back. So this can almost be like their introduction back into that, targeting that market.
Yeah. And the question is can a Skyactiv G engine handle that much turbo boost pressure? That's the question.
Right.
There's a little tiny 4-cylinder. Okay.
It's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, but a higher compression ratio. Normally, you don't get as much. You can't really, spin the turbos on those as much.
As you.
Right. Yeah, or the Mustang engine is the opposite. They got a low compression ratio. You can tune those all the way up to 900 horsepower.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they should. I'll just say this. I'll let you go, but I'll let you go ahead first. I'll let you go.
I want to ask you this question, Kenya, because Chris answered it sort of, maybe. It didn't appease me. I'm gonna tell you that much. It didn't appease me. So
you're not asking for crazy. What are you asking me? What was the question?
I'm asking you the same question. Like, who you think outside of the loyal fanboys, their cult following?
What cult following?
Mazda has a cult following. Let's face it.
Man, look, man.
Who outside of who is going to be like, you know what? I'm gonna dip out on Buick and go to Mazda.
Now,
you'd be
don't
a fool.
mention them in the same
You'd be a
sentence.
fool not to.
Look, man,
don't even mention those.
Who's going to do that? Who's going to be like, I'm dipping out right now?
We don't want them senior citizens anyway.
Look,
we don't want them.
Look, yeah, I understand why you're saying it, because there's a small company. Look, when Mazda first released the 6, Mazda knows what people want. When people were begging and begging and begging for Mazda to put a turbo 4 inside the 6 sedan, and they did. And you know what? I remember the first thing they said: "You guys asked for it, and we delivered." They know what people want. Okay. Now, you said who's gonna want, to leave the Honda Civic Type R or Integra Type S to come over to this? Well, it depends on this car. I'm hoping that it delivers more horsepower than 250. But you said who's gonna do it? Everybody knows that Mazda has some really good driving dynamics. They're one of the best cars to drive in their class, if not the best.
My question is, who is everybody? Because I think the
reviewers,
look, let's admit the viewers are kind of special at times. Let's be honest. Like, I know
that's
Mazda
why you gotta look for consistency, though.
Listen, I know Mazda is a good driving car. Like, Mazda
I didn't used to like Mazda all the time. Look, I didn't use it. I used to laugh at them when they said, "Oh, we want to be viewed as a premium brand." I laughed them to scorn. I was like, "Who the heck do you think you are? You're like Mitsubishi." I ain't gonna lie. I said it. They were the last car on my list. I looked at the way they looked, and I looked at the price point. I'm like, why this thing cost more than a Corolla? Well, a Corolla's way better than a Mazda 3. So why would anybody want to pay more for a Mazda 3 than a Corolla?
And Mazda has completely changed that mindset around.
And
you are now asking why is this car being sold more than a Mazda 3? But we know why Corolla sells more than a Mazda 3. It's just it's Toyota.
Let me interject this, because I feel like what's happening is we are in like some type of echo chamber, right? Or we in some type of catacomb where we have experienced the greatness of Mazda. And me, myself too, I will admit, I experienced the greatness of Mazda, right? So I experienced it, you experienced it, we all experienced, but that's kind of within our circle. My question is, for the majority of people who haven't, how do we win them over? If they don't understand what we know?
It's the same question you have to ask for a brand like Genesis.
Keep that out your mouth. And
it's true.
I just go from a carbon copy Mercedes Equus to something that can do.
It's the same question you have to ask a lot of other. How do you compete with the big bad German brands Like, how do you compete with Lexus?
And that's stiff competition.
It's they are so established in the market. It's like, it's one of the reasons why, Mazda, they not going to take that risk, because they know if they take too much of a risk and end up losing anyway, then they just take a huge heck of a loss. I mean, they make a car
and
that's going to get better reviews. They'll make a car that's going to get better reviews, but not sell as well. You see that a lot. A car can get better reviews and then still not sell as well. Like, look, nobody at this point in time should be worried about Mazda's reliability. So that's not a reason.
Nope. Okay. Yeah,
no. Because Mazda, I haven't seen what I mean. Past 10 years, there hasn't been any bad reputation for Mazda's reliability at all. I have one, and 125,000 miles is still driving, like most people say, it still feels like a new car. I mean, so that's not a concern. I mean, it might have been a concern to me when I was looking for my first car out of college, when I was evaluating that between a Corolla, a Nissan Sentra, a Volkswagen Jetta,
the typical cars any kid coming out of college or high school looks for.
Honda Civic, and so I was looking at those, and I was like, Mazda 3 was the last thing on my list, like, to get. I'm like, why would somebody get that? And in the minds of people, if they don't see them a lot, they assume something's wrong with them. So that's the way I was thinking. And so I didn't even give it no chance. But on paper, it made the most sense for me, because I'm looking at fuel economy. I'm like, okay, I'm not making much money. Gas prices are high. I need something that's going to give me the most gas mileage. And, as a bonus, this car has the most horsepower in its class. So, and on top of that, if it breaks down, well, it's an economy car, so it's not going to be too complex to fix it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm going to go get a Mazda 3, because it's doing good in the reviews anyway. So even if it lasts 3 years. But as I continue to look and see, most people don't do this. They don't do their homework. That's the problem. They don't do their homework. I did my homework. Not only that, it's the cheapest car to own for 5 years. I got that title back in 2015? 2016. And so I looked at that too. So that's a good indication of a durable, reliable vehicle right there.
Right.
So
okay.
You and it upholds that Japanese.
But the thing is that most people don't. You have to dig this stuff up. Most people don't do that.
And most people are lazy, and that's my point. So I'm like,
that's the thing. Like, you would have to ask a question. What can Mazda really do? Yeah, you ask this question, and the thing is that they will have to do some serious next level advertising, because building a better car than the competition in this day and age, is not good enough. They have to build it so many miles ahead for cheaper, or something like that. Like Lexus did that back in 1990, when they actually, in some ways, bested Mercedes-Benz with the LS400.
Yeah,
and it was like half the price. But
I was just about to say that. That's what they're going to have to almost be similar, because, like you mentioned earlier, the German automakers. The German automakers, when it comes to luxury, German automakers. That's the first thing that comes to people's mind when they buy a luxury vehicle.
Audi, Mercedes, BMW.
What was the only car brand that when it came to the U.S., European car makers were scared that this car came with? That was Lexus, the LS. And when that car hit the United States, you were questioning if you should get an S-Class or if you should get a Lexus. And
that's the way it was.
That's what Mazda has to be. But I think they have to do it. They have to do one more step. They got to they'll get Acura. I'm not worried about that. They'll get Acura. They got to go get Lexus, though.
But here's the thing about Mazda, though, because Mazda's an enthusiast car brand. Since they're an enthusiast car brand, luxury is kind of, it's like Porsche. Like, you don't buy a Macan or a Cayenne because you want the best SUV.
Right.
You buy it because you want a Porsche. You want a Porsche. You want the Porsche experience. You want to feel like you're driving a Porsche, but you want the practicality of a crossover. And so
it drives like a Porsche, but yeah,
however you feel how it drives, they want Porsche DNA. And so Mazda being an enthusiast car brand, they don't make luxury cars. They're not Genesis. They're not Lincoln. They're not Lexus. And so they're more like, okay, it's like the Porsche for the common person, if that makes sense. Right. And so what can they do to bring people over, because they're a company that's always operating on a tight budget, and that tight budget keeps them from taking those huge risks, so when people want more, it's like, well, this is all we can do on our budget.
Right. Yeah.
So how it's hard.
But they make it work.
It's a gradual thing. They have to gradually climb the ladder, and you can see that is what they're doing. They're gradually climbing that premium ladder.
Exactly.
They're conservative.
They're very conservative.
It's a smart move.
It keeps them out of danger. They're not being reckless with their funds and their resources. So, because if you take a big risk, you make a better car than your competition, but
you're also going to lose out more.
When you get the recognition that you deserve, that there's a business side to it and a technical side to everything.
Right.
So okay.
The business side, I'm not really sure what they can do, because even if you advertise a lot,
that still is not guaranteed.
It's still not guaranteed, because it's just, people are just finicky. It's kind of awkward, to get in people's minds and, to see the way they think. I personally, like I said, I didn't use it like Audi either. I used to laugh at them too.
I still don't like Audi, so.
I'm sorry to hear that, Donald.
I like the A6.
We're gonna let Haynes pray for you after this.
We're gonna pray for you, and
it sure is, man.
I like the A6.
We're gonna get some oil.
No. I like the A6. That's
we're
it.
Gonna find you a great. We're gonna find you a great therapist. And
I have a therapist. His name is Austin. What's up, Austin?
Anyway,
I guess he's been failing me.
But you see, the thing is that I'm a car guy, so of course I'm gonna be paying attention to, what's going on, and that's the thing about Mazda. Mazda's for those type of people. So,
and that's the issue, and okay, I'm gonna wrap this up.
But that demands higher price brackets in order to make money. So I mean, because car enthusiasts, they're willing to pay more. So I think that they have to somehow figure out how to separate themselves from the mainstream into those car enthusiast brackets.
And I'm gonna be the dead or horse, and I'm gonna say they're going to have to deliver a wow factor.
I think this is it. I think this is exactly what they need, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about this. And I want this to be heard all over YouTube. And I want Mazda CEO, what's his name, Masahiro Moto. I want him to hear this. If I get his name wrong, I hope I didn't. The Mazda CEO, in your heart of hearts, find a way to make these two vehicles. Make that Mazda Spirit Racing Miata with 200 horsepower at the minimum.
Yeah.
You don't even need to put a turbo on there.
230.
I wouldn't even say 230, 220.
Okay.
At the maximum, you don't even need more than that in that kind of car. If you're looking for more horsepower than that, you might as well just go get another sports car. The Mazda's a roadster, so I say 220. You don't even need a turbo to do that. You don't even need a turbo to get to 200. You can do that with a chip. No. So it'll be less stress on the engine with a chip. And the Mazda Mazda Spirit Racing 300 horsepower. 300. Yeah. That's all you need. 300 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque.
I stand by 315. 315.
It'll be 315. They might have 380 pound-feet of torque though. So I mean, but I say keep it at that. You don't even need more than that. I'm not asking for more than that. That's it. In your heart of hearts, find a way to make that happen, and I promise you will not regret it.
Okay. We are grateful for wishful thinking. Um, I'm joking. Okay, no, I'm joking. All jokes aside, I think one of the it's going to have to come out with that SP concept, that iconic SP concept. Like it's going to have to be a. I can see that being a sedan, right? If we take those styling cues and make that a sedan, right? Like the new 6 Series, right? Not 6 Series, forgive me, but the 6 Monster 6. We can do that, and we can make it a sedan. But I think something needs to be interjected as a wow factor, like a visual wow factor, because I think what's happening now, we have a demographic, and you can look at Nissan's sales number, and you can look at Toyota's sales number when it comes to sports cars, right? Although it's a big hit for them, you look at it compared to a Camry or a RAV4, they're not selling that well. Okay?
People don't want sports cars these days. That's another
And
thing.
it's not so much that people don't want sports cars. The people who want sports cars can't afford them. And so if you're going to buy a vehicle, you got to buy a vehicle for your family, and that's going to be logical, right?
Yeah.
And so I want a sports car, but
every dad wants his 911 or whatever, but they can't get it because they got kids, and unless you rolling a bankroll like that,
exactly,
you can't have your fun car on the weekend
unless you're Porsche and you can afford to sell fewer cars, but they're in higher profit margins. So
exactly,
and that's kind of where I think Mazda belongs, in the higher profit margins. A lot of people are not gonna agree with me saying that, and that's fine. That's fine.
Let's be level-headed right now.
They've already said they cannot chase and will not chase volume sales. They've already said that. So what are they going to do?
I think it's possible, but what you're talking about some outlandish. Okay,
correct me. No, I'm not talking about exotic car prices. No,
I'm not talking about exotic car prices either.
That's suicide.
I'm talking about what we talking about Lexus, right? Price range, right? That's what we talking
Acura.
about. Right?
We can talk about Acura price range. You can't. Okay, it only have to go past that.
They can. I think they can do that. That's plausible. But
going up to
about
Mercedes.
No.
Going against Mercedes and Porsche. No,
that's suicide. I'm not asking them to commit suicide. I ain't doing
Mazda.
that. Yeah,
it's never been Mazda, so that you can't expect that from them.
Okay.
Unless they're under a large conglomerate like Volvo, who actually pulled it off, and Audi pulled it off too, to be honest. So both of them did. They were not premium. Volvo was not a premium car maker competing with no Mercedes. They started that in 2012. They officially started that in 2012. When they made an announcement about it, they saying they wanted to go up premium, but they were Chinese owned by a company called Geely Motors. Yeah. So if they had any failures, they had something to fall back on. Now Mazda doesn't have that. So
Mazda don't have a sugar daddy. So that being said, are we okay? We're gonna move on. Okay, do you guys want to? Because we already met our mark, and we have 2 more topics to talk about. So, you guys are comfortable? Are you guys comfortable?
Oh yeah,
Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. What other topic we got?
It was the Landcruiser and a 4runner.
We ain't gonna talk about my Magma.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah, I forgot.
I just completely
it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Let me
go
ahead.
Go ahead. I can't wait. What
Genesis is going to do? We're going to capture the whole industry by storm.
Stop sharing your screen for me for a minute, can you? I'll pull up a picture of it the Jetta. But go ahead.
So I think honestly, it's going to cultivate the end users, right? It's going to be something that cultivates the end user. Like,
I'm sorry, did I doze off?
Okay,
sorry. What were we talking about again?
So we are on auto What website
This,
we
Is
on?
that a Lincoln?
this is Auto Evolution.
Auto Evolution.
Is
We
that
are
a
on.
Lincoln?
Oh my lord! But no, Chris, can you put the picture back? So look, I think it's no. Listen. Stop hating. I think
Hey.
Genesis is making some great grounds with their designs, right? And I think it's going to be a ringer if they'll price it right, respectfully, right? So you're looking at the Magma, you're looking at basically like this car we're looking at probably base is going to be 70K base. Right? We
What's power output of it? They
Now
have
you
power
talking about
output?
a G80 Magma?
no, yeah.
I
So
think
Man, that thing gonna have the
it's gonna
same 365 horsepower V6.
no,
Man.
415. It got a 415 hybrid V6, twin turbo hybrid with a small electric motor producing 415. Right, 415. That's good enough, right? And what Genesis has done, we have poached. I say we. Anyway, we have poached designers from Audi.
Audi. That's right.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay, but I'm not
Audi.
finished.
From Audi, Donald.
I'm not finished. We have also poached engineers from
From
the M
BMW.
division. From
Albert Bauman.
Yes, and do you have a
He's a
problem with
genius.
that, Kenya?
No,
Yes, he is.
it's smart. I get it. I get it.
What you think gonna happen? What's going to happen is we're going to make some sales and we're going to make some numbers because we are not afraid. Okay, granted. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It is kind of it's kind of scary though, right? Because
if this car don't sell, that's not gonna be good.
Yeah, this is what's scary to me, right? I love what Genesis is doing and how they're taking that leap of faith. However, they are not conservative by any means when it comes to their portfolio, right? The most conservative thing that they have done is a GB80, right?
And
they extend their hand quite often.
Tell me that after they deliver a supercar.
No, but listen to me. They're being conservative. I'm loving this approach, but because this is my company, I am fearful. I don't want to see failure because they have not taken a conservative approach.
They don't have to.
Right. But
they got Honda and Kia.
Listen, they don't have to. However, they should still consider, right? Be a little bit more conservative, right? That being said, I do think that this will shake up the industry. I do think when we do them side-by-side comparison, right, with the BMW 6 Series, with the Audi A6, when we do them side-by-side comparison, right, this is going to win out on price, aesthetic, fit, and finish quality. This is going to win out. So I think it's going to make a name for itself. Because when you look at it, they also post designers from Bentley too. So there you go. So when you look at it, it has the presence, it has the ambiance of what you want in the luxury car, right? Even if you don't know the name,
nice car, man.
Listen, even if you don't know the name, you're gonna look at this car and you're gonna say, if Chris came out this car, if Kenya came out this car, you're gonna be like, they got money. They got money. That's what you know, right?
Yeah, it can give off. It will give off that illusion. Yeah.
Yeah, you got money, right? Like you're dealing with money, and so that's what it has. It has.
Ain't no Billy money now. Let's not go that way. You know.
Well, yeah, but it has that wow factor, right? It has that wow factor, and I think with Genesis they can do this. As it relates to their approach, I am fearful. I will be honest. I do want to see them succeed. I do believe that
it's going to have to do numbers.
Yeah.
Have to do numbers now.
Well, the G80 is the best-selling vehicle they got globally.
I didn't hear you.
That's one thing.
What you say, Kenya? I didn't hear that.
The G80 is actually.
Go ahead.
I didn't say now. Hold on. Now I didn't say it's one of the best-selling cars. Period. I said it's their best-selling model.
But that's still a win, though.
That's a win for them. Yeah.
It's a win
even though it might sell less than a Lexus ES or a daggone.
That don't count.
Man, okay. Well, let's pick something else then. it sells less than a lot of
What
it.
do you
I know
think
it
this
says
car
it's
gonna do
selling
better than,
A6
Donald?
numbers.
What do you think? What do
It
you think
ain't
it's
doing
gonna put?
A6 numbers. I know that. I know that.
Oh,
We can pull it
absolutely.
up. We can look it
What do you
up.
think this car gonna
It's
take
not.
out?
It's
I
not.
don't think. I think it's gonna take out Acura, and that's
What?
about it.
Now, hold on.
I'm
The
being
G80 is
transparent.
too big. For one thing, the Acura ain't got that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. Listen, I'm talking about within reason. It's not taking out no Audi.
No, sure
What?
ain't. Sure ain't.
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
listen. What it's gonna take out, right? It might lurch into like a base, like a Audi S6, right? It might do something like that, right? It
Or
might take that out.
M550,
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
most.
yeah, yeah. It might take that out.
But not a full
Or
on M5.
exactly, it
Yeah,
won't. It won't
ain't
do
no
any
M5
of those.
competition. That ain't happening.
And it's not doing the RS6 or anything. Like it might be taking out the S or something in that. I don't even think it's necessarily gonna take out. I think it might be competitive, and it might be on their heels. And I'll
Ooh,
be honest, and
you putting in a tall order there, Donald.
I'm saying it's gonna be on their heels. I didn't say they just gonna just straight take them out. You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's gonna be on their heels, and
Now,
I
on the
think it's
heels in
gonna.
terms of like the reviews, or
I'm not saying. I'm talking about sales. I'm talking about sales. I'm
that's a
talking
tall
about.
order now. That's a tall order. That's
And I
really
believe
tall.
Very.
we can make it.
Yeah.
I believe we can make
That's
it. I
really
believe we're
tall
gonna
order.
be on the heels, and I believe we be down
What's
by.
the
Listen, I
they
believe
go
we be down by 5,000, which is reasonable. 5,000 units
a
each quarter.
year or each quarter?
No. Each quarter, I believe we be down by 5,000 to by the S6, the Audi S6, right?
Now,
So if the
if it's each quarter, that means they're down 20,000 a full year. So that's pretty
and that's
far
yeah,
away.
yeah.
That's a far ways away.
But you
Yeah.
okay, that's true. But what I'm seeing it as a win because I'm seeing it as I'm still meeting what the criteria of the sales that I need for my company. Right? That's what I see it as. I see it as a win, right? You know? So it's not like the Monster 3 is outselling the Corolla, right? But the Monster 3 is making its complete sales. So it's a win for the company, and that's how I see it.
Okay, that's fair
So
enough.
I had to drag y'all
I
into
will
it.
agree
So
with you on one thing. I've always said this about Genesis. I respect the heck out of them because they're going for it. Like,
Yeah. They have left that Equus crap.
look at I'll just say this. Look at Acura. Look at Infinity. And how scared they are. Like, in Genesis, it's like, no, we're just gonna do a full lineup of three. We're gonna do 3 sedans, 1 small, medium, large, and we got 2 crossovers, and hopefully they got a sports car, supercar on the way. And they're like, and Infinity's like, I don't know if the market wants that. SUVs are the thing, and Acura's like, well, we don't want to go up there with the Germans, and the market is doing this, and Cadillac is like, well, we had to pull the CT6 because, it just wasn't doing the numbers, and they're all scared. They're all scared.
Yeah.
We can go down the list. Volvo. Look at Peugeot's luxury brand, DS. They start the same time.
God.
They start the same time. Matter of fact, they started before Genesis officially. Genesis became a premium car maker on its own after DS Automobiles became a premium car maker. Genesis started, I believe, officially in 2015? DS started in 2014. Look at how far ahead Genesis is ahead of DS. They have, and DS has no excuse. They're under Peugeot, PSA. They're doing great over there. Genesis said, look, if Lexus can take the world by storm by doing this, we can repeat
do the same.
And that's pretty much what they've done with that brand as a whole, is they have tried to repeat that formula by undercutting the top dogs while delivering, a product that is just as good for much better value. And so I applaud them for having a full lineup of sedans the way they have, because a lot of the other guys are scared. If they ain't German, they scared pretty much. Pretty much, that's what happened. Jaguar pulled the XJ out. You know,
Yeah,
they
Jaguar
canceled
is
the next
committing
generation
suicide.
XJ. They're committing suicide right now, and Genesis is like, nope, we are going to be great. And I respect the heck out of them. They hired Audi's some of their previous design team members. They got the genius from BMW as far as chassis engineer, driving dynamics engineer, Albert Bowman from BMW. Oh, Albert Bierman from BMW over to Genesis. And he's the one that tuned the G80's chassis. And so that car drives the way it drives because of him, you know. And you got to respect Genesis for being a new company and willing to take that much of a risk, you know, and go all out
and succeed. And to
great. And be honest, they kind of succeeded. Now, as far as their market share increase, that is another thing we have to look at, because while they have gotten a lot better, so have the top dogs.
Yeah.
True. Okay, so Chris, what do you think? How do you think this Magma will be implemented into the market? Do you think it would change the landscape, or do you think it's going to be a money maker?
I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll say this: the car is a beautiful car, and you can really see the inspirations from the design teams, and you can tell who they've hired some people, and some very, very talented people. Do I see this car taken out? Listen, Infiniti doesn't have nothing right now, so it's gonna sit on them, and it's not gonna be. They're not gonna be in competition with them. And to be honest, Lexus, I think they'll give them a run for their money too, but it won't touch the European car market buyers, and it won't influence them at all. Not in my opinion.
Okay.
I don't think Genesis has that big of a market share or that big of a market presence compared to any competition to the European automakers. I just don't see it. But this car is stunning. It is absolutely stunning from the inside, from the outside to the inside.
I agree.
mean, this car is fantastic.
I agree 100%.
I agree with your whole sentiment.
But I just don't. I don't know if it's ready to be up in that conversation. If I'm gonna go, should I go get the Audi S6? Should I go get the BMW, the M550, or should I go get? I don't think it's up there yet. I think it's still.
I will say though that like if you look at the G90, it's actually better than the LS, and I believe it's selling better than the LS. And so that already, is already, making their presence known right there. As far as, the Magma editions, well, that I agree with Chris on.
This is going to get this right. This is going to be like their similar. This is going to be their comparison to their AMG type.
Now,
is this going to be like their performance line?
Fortunately, apparently, the CEO has said that they don't want it to be a separate sub brand like M and AMG. They just wanted to be a higher trim level. According to Genesis, his own words.
I guess that's not a bad decision, just because you don't want to, because that would be a real leap of faith right there, and you're going, because you wouldn't. I can understand it, because you wouldn't put this car here in comparison to what the M series of the world, the AMGs, the RS. I don't think you're ready to. I think Genesis is good right where they're at right now. Yeah, they have done a lot, and they have really covered ground in a short amount of time.
Yeah,
and they've done it very effectively. I think this is a good, not stopping point, but just take a rest, put this out there, and then if they want to go for a supercar or compete against the AMG trims, the M series, the Audi's RS, any of those, then they can proceed with that. But I think right now this is a good stance where they're at.
I agree. I fully agree.
So M550, good competitor for that.
And
Yeah.
I agree. I hate to say it, but I agree. Phenomenal take, Chris. Phenomenal take, Kenyon.
I do hope that they make that Genesis X concept though. That Genesis
And
X Berlinetta concept. That would
yeah,
be
a
that's an
crowd
awesome.
stopper.
Yeah, that's an awesome looking supercar, but with the way supercars are being received by the public, being sold, it's a huge risk. But you know, I might be something they might need to take. Um, I wouldn't mind them doing it. After they've done that, they've done it all. After they've done
Yeah.
that, they would have done it all because the GV90 is coming. I do know that they're full size
Imagine if
large.
Genesis releases a supercar before BMW.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sad.
Woo! That's
That'd be
that's
pretty
that's
sad.
that's on the horizon because BMW don't know what they're doing. They lost their heritage, and yeah, they've been chasing mommy vehicles for the past 10 years.
The
So
XM.
exactly, what the crap is that?
Yeah.
It's a disappointment at best. But yeah. So let's talk about it. Cannibalism. Boom, 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 boom. So we're talking about the new 4runner, right?
The
The
new
Toyota
Toyota 4runner
4runner, right?
and the Landcruiser
Yes, we're
250.
not gonna get into that yet. Let's first talk about the aesthetics, the looks. All right, Kenya, I'm leading in with you. Keep it fast. What do you think about the new 4runner in comparison to the previous predecessor?
I mean, the thing looks rugged, man. I mean, I don't, it's definitely a manly vehicle.
Yeah.
Um, it's I like it honestly.
I
Uh,
do. I
Hey,
like it for
Chris,
sure.
can you pull that up? I'm gonna send
it's
you
Yeah,
the
yeah. I'll pull it
link.
up right now.
All right.
Yeah,
I
pulling it up
like
right
it.
now.
I mean, I think it's a rugged looking vehicle. It's definitely going to be capable. Only thing is you know that 4-cylinder engine, is
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But other than that, I like the way it looks. I mean, and I'm willing to bet you, knowing these guys, because look, as in terms of even the Toyota Land Cruiser, and this is supposed to be the more off-road version, of the two, right?
Yeah.
Right.
According to Toyota. I've seen a Land Cruiser climb over anything. I mean, the thing looks like it can climb
Yeah.
They could climb Mount
a
Everest,
brick
man.
wall. It looks like it can, like for real. Like I've seen that thing climb some stuff. I mean, is there a more capable off-road vehicle than that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't. I mean, that thing is ridiculous.
Exactly. So, Chris, what's your take on
So the
the new
Forerunner
Oh, I
4runner?
has
love
to
the
be
way.
something else. It has to be like it can probably climb. Man, that thing can
Yeah,
climb a brick
Uh,
I
wall.
love the Forerunner. I love the way this car looks.
okay.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it looks great.
Uh,
It,
um, I think
They nailed the
with
looks.
I mean, I said the 4-cylinder thing is maybe a slight um gripe, but I mean, this thing is beautiful. I mean, it really it fits what it's sold for. It's a rugged off-road vehicle, but I like that they're still able to make it look rugged, but also look kind of like a sleek, modern look. It
exactly.
looks mean, like it looks like it's ready to take on its challenges of where you're trying to take it, where you're wanting to use it as. So, yeah,
Yeah,
this car is it. Yeah, I like it, love it.
you think it looks better than the GX?
No, no, no,
No.
no, no. I
Okay.
don't. I don't. I think the GS is top tier. Okay, my take on it is yeah, rugged, attractive, masculine. It has that that woof to it. I love it. Right, execution. I'm not gonna lie. It looked like a bulldog. The front facial. It looked kind of like a English
I
bulldog or like some type of
can see that.
bulldog.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna even lie. It kind of look cute to me in some sense. Which takes away from the ruggedness because it's like some little cute dog. But anyway,
And another,
it
yeah. Anyway, I'll let you go. Sorry.
yeah, but it's a again it's Toyota, so it's high quality. It has resilience. I'm loving it all around. Interior, it's the exact same interior as a Tacoma, which could be, I mean, it's on the exact same platform. So yeah, so we all agree that this is a very attractive vehicle, right? For what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
It does have a hybrid with the 4-cylinder, right? I don't think it would be wise for anybody. I wouldn't buy the 4-cylinder by itself without the hybrid, right? Without the hybrid, you producing the 4-cylinder is producing how much horsepower? Um, what
It's
270?
278,
Yeah,
Hmm.
and
that's
yeah.
not good enough for me. No, no, I need 320 or something.
Imagine when you
Because
press the gas on that, you feel like you're gonna break the engine. I mean,
exactly,
Yeah.
it's gonna be yeah.
yeah,
We got
it's
time for that. So let's go. Let's go to the measurements because the measurements are wow. I'm gonna pull up the measurements right now. All right. The question that I have for Chris, that I'm gonna lead in with Chris, will there be cannibalism in the Toyota SUV lineup?
Mm, uh,
because you got the Land
no,
Cruiser.
no, because man, wherever the hell Toyota wants to go, they're gonna go there and they're gonna get it done. I don't give. I don't. It don't matter where they what they do. They are the world's industry leader in everything, and I think even with, I mean, they've got the Land Cruiser, the 4runner, and I see the SUV lineup, but I'm not concerned with them. It's Toyota. Toyota is they are them, and I think they make the most smart and practical decisions. I just trust in them that I know that they know what they're doing. I mean, unlike some other brands we can talk about, but I think looking at Toyota, I don't see it as cannibalism. No, I
Okay,
don't think so.
okay,
I think they're still gonna keep their other vehicles still in the line, but I'm not gonna say it's complete cannibalism for everything that they're releasing now. No, not gonna say
okay,
that.
okay. All right, Kenya. Same question. Do you think? And I'm gonna combine 7 and 8 with you. Do you think that their overall strategy with Toyota overall strategy will there be cannibalism within Toyota SUV lineup?
Between these two, it would be
Yeah.
hard to do with them being at two different price points because one is at 40,000, the other is at 55,000. So the Toyota 4Runner is 40,000. The Land Cruiser is at
And by the way,
55,000.
by the way, even though it said 2024, that's the old price. Okay, so I couldn't get 2025 4runner, so it's going to increase by at least 2 grand across the whole board.
Well, yeah, I'm expecting that, but it's not going to go up to a whole different price bracket either. So, um,
Okay,
no, I don't think there's going to be cannibalism because I mean Toyota knows better than that. You know, they're not stupid.
Yeah,
So,
okay, okay. Well, Kenya and Chris, I want you guys to look at the size comparison. And are you guys looking at the size comparison?
yeah, I
Do I
see
need to
it.
name out?
Yeah,
yeah, I pulled up. Yeah,
it's kind of weird. Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
It's way. I mean, wheelbase wise. I mean, it's about to say. But you have the. Yeah, I mean, looks very similar,
Yeah.
yeah, um, true that. True that.
but you're
So
charging more
Yeah,
for a pretty much same car dimensions wise.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
That's weird. That's weird.
Now keep in mind that the once again, according to Toyota, the 4Runner is supposed to be the more outdoorsman, more capable vehicle. That's what he said. So that's what they
yeah.
said. So that's kind
Yeah,
of awkward because the Land Cruiser
the
costs
Land
more.
Cruiser is almost like a Subaru, kind of like a kind of compared. The 4runner is like mud dirt, like real rugged areas, sand dunes and things like that.
Yeah.
I think the Landcruiser is more of like a, like I mean, look at the advertising, Grand Canyon, things like that. You look
Right.
at the 4runner advertising images. I mean, it's in what was that, a redwood forest, mud and stuff like that. I think they're just targeted to two different types of geographic locations.
Yeah, but the Land Cruiser is very capable.
Most definitely it is.
It is
Oh,
extremely
absolutely.
capable. In
Yeah.
fact, I
That thing
would
can.
employ both of you guys to look at CarWow review of the Land Cruiser. That thing went through everything.
Yeah. I
From
like I
Matt
said
Watts-
before.
Yeah.
Like I said before, the Land Cruiser is amazing. I don't think anything. I don't care. Bring your Jeep. Bring your Range Rover.
Jeep struggle to get up hills.
Man,
I ain't worried about no Jeep.
bring whatever. You ain't. I'll be surprised if anything can top. What
The Land Cruiser. Yeah.
the Land Cruiser.
Yeah, it's a beast, man. It's a beast.
Yeah. Okay, my take on it is, okay, do I think there will be cannibalism? Honestly, I'm actually with Chris on this and Kenya. I'm with both of you guys on this. Honestly, with the way the market is going and how people are leaning more towards SUVs, I just think Toyota provided people with solid variety to choose from.
Right.
Right? And if they want something at a level that has higher quality, not quality, but higher luxury, they'll choose the 250, the LC 250, right? The Land Cruiser 250. And if they can afford something lesser, they'll choose the 4runner. And so I think their strategy is smart. As for me, I'm actually looking at the Land Cruiser to buy. That would be something I would buy.
I would
personally.
pick it. I would pick
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
yeah. And so I think it's a very smart strategy. Very interesting strategy too when you think about the pricing of the Land Cruiser compared to the GX, the Lexus GX, right?
Yeah.
Now the Lexus GX is essentially now has become. I mean, it always has been a trim level of that model, but it's definitely now cemented that the Lexus GX is just another trim level of the Land Cruiser, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because the Land Cruiser prices actually tips into the Lexus GS price range, and that's real. And so they're very close in price
They're
range.
too close
They're-
together to me.
But I'm okay with that because now what is being said is we're providing you with two different trims. That's essentially how I see it. It's a different trim.
We
That's
have
it.
a base one that still do you get it, and you have a higher one. You pick.
Exactly. And
You pick
then
what you want.
it's different looks. Can you pull up the Lexus GX? Chris, may you please? Thank you.
Yeah, it starts off at 63,000 for the Lexus
Yep.
GX.
I got Chris' favorite car out there, that Enclave.
Oh man, that crap.
So yeah, essentially the exact same vehicle with totally different front facial. Very attractive vehicle.
You want a more cleaner luxury look?
Exactly.
Go get the GX. You wanna stick with the kind of the same, but just more basic modern? Go get a 4runner.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and
I like that they offer that.
Yeah.
Or Land Cruiser. Yeah, I mean,
Land Cruiser.
yeah, 55.
You'll be able to tackle
63.
your task with either one though.
Yeah. Very attractive, very masculine. I'm really feeling it. So that being said, we all agreed on that, and
Well,
I think
I'll tell you one thing you guys neglected to mention. The 2025 4runner has a lot of buttons on the inside. That's good.
the interior.
Yes.
That is good news.
And that's something they mentioned in an article I'm looking at right now, is that There's a
Yeah,
button
look at all those
on the
buttons, man.
inside.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh look at that. All understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to know something interesting about the buttons and touchscreen? Otto Vactel, the German car reviewer, he asked a question to Mercedes, and he said, "So when you put it in the touchscreen, it's more cheaper, right? It's more economical for the
Go
car
ahead,
company."
Donald. I was just telling. I always tell King this. Go ahead. Yep.
And they said no, it's actually more expensive to put it in the touchscreen.
Oh
And
man.
I said,
Oh
"What?"
man. What happened? Oh.
No,
I said,
no, I don't
"Man."
see it. I
I'm
don't see
like,
it.
so you telling me you're eliminating practicality, muscle memory for the sake of following Tesla? That makes no sense.
Yeah. But I do believe though that I mean, I don't know. I don't engineer the screens for these cars. Know how much goes into it, but what I do know is that when you can put something digitally rather than doing it manually, you can save in that because you're just running wires at that point that just
Yeah.
have direct functions through a screen. But then you run into things like lag and things like that. But if you had to ask me what I prefer, definitely buttons over anything.
So
Absolutely.
so what was Mercedes' response for that question?
Yeah, they said it's actually more expensive to do touchscreen
So
than buttons,
what was
which is, I don't understand how, but that's what they say. They said
what
that
was their explanation for why? Is what
they
I
didn't
want.
say. They didn't say, and it was just mind blowing. That's all. Auto
Wow,
Patel.
that's pretty
Like,
sad that we
yeah,
have. I'm gonna say some. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself for right now. That almost makes me mad. That actually does make me mad because at least if they were cheaper, like I'm looking at this article. If you allow me to share this screen, Chris,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm looking at this article here, and
what
even
website you on?
I am on the drive,
Mm-hmm.
and so if you look at this, it says a Toyota 2025 Toyota 4runner has
There's
buttons,
tons of buttons
and
inside.
that is
That's
on
on
purpose.
purpose.
That is on purpose.
That's because
Yeah.
Toyota is smart and intelligent. They understand their market.
Yeah.
And so,
They
yeah,
You
understand what
know,
people want.
like all modern vehicles, it uses a touchscreen to control a laundry list of functions inside the car, but also has buttons. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Does anybody know what's wrong with that? Does that mean that they make their cars for old people, or you're old, so you don't understand? Young people.
No, because I'm young and I
I've
prefer
been told
buttons.
I've been told that many times, and so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just old, but I think it's just common daggone sense.
exactly. You
Any
can
of
have both.
any of you guys at these car makers, y'all can take that how y'all want it. I just said it out loud. It's the proof is in. Look at the Aston Martin DB11 buttons,
Oh yeah.
because it makes
Beautiful.
sense. It's not
One of
about
the best.
look what makes a car modern is its capability, not you know how you big of a screen you
Not
can put in
how.
there.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything.
Because look at a Pagani.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Pagani looks like it looks almost like a car you wouldn't even want to drive. It's just so beautiful on the inside. You don't only want to just touch it.
Yeah, and
It's art.
we have car makers like they're actually doing what car makers should be doing today, making a car art. Like it's for nothing else, make it so that they're art pieces. They're just there. They're there to look
Yeah.
good and to be used as a function, but they're also
Right.
there to look good. Make them art pieces. Do that.
Right. Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I would be interested in hearing Mercedes Benz explanation for that as to why they decided to do that when, clearly Toyota said, look, like we have more buttons in this interior and it's like that on purpose. They did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested in their explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercedes
All
Benz.
right. All right.
All right. All right. We got everything out of our checks today, fellas.
Absolutely.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Each one of you guys provided some really good, relevant information. I really appreciate that. I really do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Even though I find you two gentlemen to be really delusional about certain things and aspects, it's a blessing.
Man,
That's
To
coming from the Cybertruck lover.
I ain't mean to bash Genesis. You know what I'm saying?
I'm joking, man. I'm joking. No, I'm not.
That's about time Genesis came out with something fun. I was starting to think, man, they just like Lincoln, man.
No, man.
Yeah,
Don't put us
real,
in
man.
with them.
For real, man. They had it.
people.
They needed to come out with that Magma edition stuff, man. They needed to do it, man.
No,
They were starting to look a lot like Lincoln, man, because they were starting like this is a pure luxury brand. Like they don't even ain't got no horsepower, ain't got no drive dynamics. They just, pillow their way down the road and drag.
And I'm okay with that. Hey guys, after we get off this, we need to do some business things too after this. Okay. So, all right, guys, this is Auto Ring Magazine.
Auto Ring Magazine.
Chris Thomas, make some noise.
Right.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening to us. Put your thoughts and your comments in the comment section below on what you think about everything we spoke about.
And your boy Kenya Johnson, make some noise. And your one and only host, Donald Seymour Jr. We are out.
Peace.
I'll do.